What is up, everybody? How y'all doing? We have a very exciting game night tonight. Hope you guys can we got a lot of eyes in the chat. Hope you guys can see. Hope you saw the intro and everything worked. We have Boomer Alert on game night tonight. I'm trying to make this a little bit more exciting for you all. We have some pretty cool people tonight. We have some content creators, some newer, not so newer. We have actual Professor Oak, for real, no cap, bussin'. We are hitting the lab, and we're gonna play Charizard Fire game tonight. It's a quick one. We're not gonna have you playing for too long. A few questions. You guys are gonna have some fun. I'm gonna do a little intro with each person that's gonna come in. I'm gonna say hi real quick. So be nice and warm. Let's get some fire in the chat, as they say. And okay, let's get that music going. Let's welcome in. I'm gonna just go in order on my screen. Java.
What's up, guys?
How are you?
Going great. I'm excited. This is my first live, not on my channel. So,
yay!
And I'm a big Charizard fan. So
Cheers
hopefully I'll do well tonight, or else I'll look like a fool.
No pressure there, Java. Very exciting though. All right, next up, we're gonna throw in Andrew. Hey, Andrew.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Andrew M. This is my first ever live as well. I recognize a lot of handles from the Discord and chat, so I hope everyone's doing well.
Sweet. Very exciting. Next up, we have Buggy Bondo. Bondo, welcome in.
How you doing? Also, first time live with everybody else, so 3 for 3 on that. Excited to be here. Hopefully, my knowledge on Charizard from growing up is stored up here somewhere. A little rusty, but I'm excited to get going.
So I'm gonna turn off the music now. Let's get serious, guys. This is Charizard night. So let me throw this in because we are all out of whack. There we go.
Bondo's name.
You guys got names. Yeah. Look at me. Boomer Alert. I'm making it. Okay, so we are gonna play Charizard tonight. Not a lot, like I said, not a lot of stuff going on with it, but we got some curveballs in there where there may be a little mid-gen, you might call it, a little mid-area stuff. I have a whole list. We're going to go through. You guys are going to guess. You've got pen and papers ready, right?
Yes, sir.
Sweet. Professor Oak, lab starts. Let's go to class. Okay, let me... fingers crossed this works. We have fire in the chat. Guys, have you seen this chat right now?
It's looking fuego.
A literal fire. Oh my god, we have all the superstars. Let's say hello real quick before we get going. Who we got? We got Chief. What's up, Chief? Pokefresh, DNA, Derek, Jarvis in the chat. Crawdad, DNA, Philly, Thrifty, Chevels. Andrew's in the chat. Semi-old guy. Don't know if that's a porn name, but it sounds like it. Max, welcome in. Everyone. Yeah, we got a bunch of superstars. That's super exciting. Okay, so let me see if we can get this going. Welcome in, everyone. This is gonna be a fun one. It worked.
Let's go.
There we go.
Check it out. Look at that. I did editing. DNA is gonna be so proud of me. It's gonna be like, look at this guy, he's all grown up. Okay.
Out of the water, anything I could do.
Bro, this took me like a month to make this stuff. It was all grit. It was all hunger and grit, no talent. Okay, so I'm going to flash through. I've got a few slides. We're going to hit a picture. For the first few, you're going to hit a picture and you guys are going to guess. Try and do it as fast as possible. I'll give you a few seconds. No Googling, no phone checking or whatever, obviously. But just try and guess 2 parts. So for the first few, I'm going to give you 2 possible points. First one is going to be the year.
Ooh.
Second point is going to be the set. And I made it English to make it a little bit easier. There's no Japanese crazy ones in there.
See, Japanese would have been easier for me.
You're going to say that? I was hoping you were going to say that. Maybe. I think you still might see some of these. Some of them might be. I think don't doubt yourself is what I'm going to say. So let's go with the first one. You guys ready?
Let's do it.
A Charizard EX with a flashy border. We're looking for a year and a set, and this is probably in my top 3 Charizards, I think.
Ready.
Let's see what chat thinks. DNA said I'm turning from boomer to bussing.
That was a good intro.
You like that? Good. I'm glad.
Bussing.
No cap. Okay. Hit me. What you got? A fire red leaf green. 2006, 2004. Bondo, I can't see yours. It looks tiny on the thing. 2004 fire red. Oh, you guys are good. That was a 2004 fire red leaf green. So we got here. Let me keep track of this because I'm gonna have to stop this out. I'm gonna get lost. See, I told you, don't doubt yourselves. Java got 2, Bondo got 2, Andrew got 1. You said 2006, right, Andrew?
I did, yeah. Underdog.
Appreciate your honesty. How do I go to next slide? Okay, got it.
Oof. No.
Delta species Charizard.
Oh God.
Who else we got? We got Dan Ketchum. Welcome in.
Get
Marty,
down.
welcome in.
I knew I should have touched up on my set list. That was the one thing I was like, is it going to be facts about Charizard or is it going to be cards about Charizard? I read up on some facts.
I love it. Semi-old guy says he has a different porn name. It's semi-young guy. That makes sense.
Neither old nor young.
He's from my community.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I'm just kidding. Let me get rid of that. That's in the way. Okay, what you got? Let's see, guys. Crystal Guardians 06. 06, Crystal 06. You guys are brilliant at this.
Dang.
Let's go.
Wow, what points all around?
Luckily, these are like 2 sets that I actually like really enjoy thus far. Well,
maybe I made this too easy.
No.
There is a couple that might throw you off towards the end of it. I gotta be honest. I didn't get too crazy with this though. Don't worry. We're not like going through everything. I kind of love that artwork too. Do any of you guys have this art?
No.
Any of you have this artwork?
No.
I feel like everybody loves Delta Species, but not that many people have the holos just because of the pricing.
I almost got a chance to buy the reverse holo from a friend of mine, but it's pretty beat up. It was a decent price, and I was like, I want it, but there was also so many other things. I was like, oh, I don't want it this condition. I'd rather spend a little bit more for light play or near mint.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I only have beat up.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any real clean mini ones, honestly. Yeah, they're a little iffy. All right.
Oh man.
Charizard. This one is base set reprint, technically. I think I've heard it called a base set reprint before. This one is easy if you know it. If it isn't, you'll never get it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get the year right. I'll throw a name. I'm not the most efficient with my set list, unfortunately.
All right.
Some of these mid-range ones might catch you off.
Oh yeah.
All right, hit me. Okay, we've got 07, 08, 09, Stormfront, some Invictus Stormfront. Okay.
Definitely get another one.
Let me see those again because I want to make sure I'm getting this right. Okay.
Maybe I got the year right. Come on.
I have no idea. I think I got the set right.
I'm gonna give you a clue. You all got 1 point for different reasons.
Ooh.
Years, man.
2008 Stormfront.
I got no.
Tricky one, right? Those,
Oh yeah.
late 2000s to early 20 teens, not so easy. They're definitely a tricky one. This one, I feel like I like the art. I feel like I should like the artwork, but I don't know if I do.
I like it better than just a straight reprint.
Yes,
because it's it's a different take on it. But
yeah, I think I agree with that.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a couple more in. We got Peak, Hey Peak. Oh, we got lots of cool people in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Derek, get rid of that bag emoji, and you Chevels. No bags tonight. There's literally no bags going to be listed. Trust me. Okay, let's hit it. A level X Charizard. Ooh. This is the curveball. This is the tricky one. Malevolent Fire. That's such a big word for a little kid playing this game. I would love to see one of those little 8-year-olds playing this game in a tournament, trying to stay malevolent. You see me cutting off the year and the symbol there, right?
Smart.
All right, what you got?
Definitely
07 Victors, 09 Victors, 09 Victors. Not Victors. It is
Is this a promo?
Diamond and Pearl promo.
Damn, man.
I knew there was two of them, and I'm like, I looked earlier on today. I was looking through something, anticipating maybe, and I remember I was like, oh, Supreme Victors, this one sticks out, and I just chucked it. I was like, I threw it last time, definitely wrong, but
man.
Andrew, you got 2009 though, right?
I did say 09, yeah.
So we got a point there. So you guys are neck and neck right
I'm
now.
getting good at just guessing dates. That's it.
Did you say 2009 there too?
I think you did.
I had it right there, but
You're a
not.
point ahead. You took the lead with that.
Oh,
I just gotta get the dates right. I'm not gonna get the sets very often, but
Take a stab. There's only 70 million sets right now. Yeah. Okay. I like the artwork. I don't love it. I like it. I like that it's not yellow bordered. I think that makes it look a lot nicer. I love when they started doing some of these special fancy silvery borders and stuff.
I'm hoping we see some rendition of this in the future. I don't know if they'll ever bring it back, but if they do,
Yeah,
I'd be excited.
I like
that'd be
level X
Yeah,
a lot.
You do?
Yeah, they're
A
cool.
lot of people didn't for a very long time. I think this is like a modern undertaking or a recent undertaking of like people actually caring about them. So I think
Same
for the
with
longest
primes. I feel like everyone hates primes too, but I love primes.
Yeah.
I think they're
Yes.
super cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of discovery the past year or two, right? There's been a lot of people digging and trying to find new artwork and things that aren't like graded much or people don't talk about much. There's people want something that's like out of the norm And I think this is a classic example of like this isn't in many people's binders.
No.
Yeah.
Like people don't see this card in people's binders, right? It's not like not a thing. So I think that's what's exciting about it for me.
One thing
If it came out 10, they're probably all damaged.
For sure. Yep. Those prong marks, man.
Yeah.
One of my good friends, he actually, it's funny, he was playing Pokemon like in tournaments and things back in like 07 through 2011 range, and he had dropped all his cards. And one day I was like, hey man, like, ask him about Pokemon cards. He's like, I actually have a binder, I'll bring it in one day. And he brought it in, and it has like every level X card. And I was like, wait, can I buy some of these? And he was like, you know, you're making me feel nostalgic. I think I'm going to keep them. I was like, probably smart to do that. But he had this card, or the actual set card, and I was just like sitting there. I'm like, please, man, let me buy some. I didn't buy any.
That's so sweet. I love it. Yeah, I was when I was in Tampa TCG Con the other day. Tennis Wolf pulled out 5 binders, and he had everything from every language and every set. Like it was ridiculous. And I was like real quiet. I was being really quiet looking through them, and he was like, you okay? I was like, this is amazing. I was just like scrolling through, like, this is just like, these are cards like I've never seen in real life. Like they're that kind of card. He has an incredible collection, so I'm excited. He's going to be coming on the channel soon. I'm really excited about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his binders are insane from your video. Video is
that
really good, by the way.
One little spot of one little binder. I was like, I've got to record at least a little bit of this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, yeah. Thank you for that, though. That's awesome. We got Brandon Baker just joined. BB, welcome in. Mason's here. Very exciting. Shining Light Bulbs here. We've got loads of cool people in the chat tonight. This is awesome. Okay. Thrifty said she's all done on this. She wants nothing to do with that one. So let's jump on. Okay. So this is one that my friend Zod Collect, you might have seen me talk about him on channel before. We've done a lot of trades. He is collecting Charizards, and I told him about this one, and he lost his shit. Like, he was like, okay, yeah, I need this one. Gorgeous. This is probably my favorite Charizard artwork. I love this one. But yeah, no chat.
I'll be honest, I'm not a cheater here. I was looking at the video on the wrong screen. I looked at chat real quick, and someone said the answer. I don't know if it's true. I'm not gonna answer this one because I have no clue. I'm gonna guess the year. That's all. I'm
not gonna look either because I'll give it away if I look.
So I'm crossing my set list, and I'm just guessing years here.
I don't know any set names from this era.
Yeah, that's my problem.
This is middle of the road, just to give you a clue on the date right there. It's pretty mid-range.
I remember Rusty was chasing this card for a very long time in a 10, right?
Oh, really? I don't remember that.
I saw a video of someone after this card, and
I love it.
It was drawn up a decent amount because of how low pop it is, or something along those lines. Not entirely sure because I don't look at it like that, but
I love it. I love everything about it.
Very cool.
You know what I think I love about this one is it looks like it's drawn by hand, and it's not in your face. Like that last one is like in there is like, boom, I'm Charizard. Like, look at me. This one's like, I'm Charizard and I look cool as fuck. Like that's that's what this one says to me. Like that's really cool.
Yeah.
You guys ready?
Oh yeah.
I don't have a set name, but I'm guessing a date.
Yep.
Go for it. 13, 10, 11, 2013 Legendary Treasures.
What?
You got it, Bondo.
What the heck? Man,
Crazy.
If I get all of these right, I'm buying a case of Lost Origin tonight, and I'm pulling Giratina.
All the dates.
Yeah.
Thrifty did get it. She said Legendary Treasures, but she couldn't remember the year. And then DNA hit the 2013. He knew where it was at.
I saw the Legendary Treasures, and I was like, shoot, I wouldn't have.
That's the one you saw. Yeah,
but it's okay. I turned that screen off, so I'm no longer looking at it. Or we should just hide chat.
Mason's been through too many to remember the years he's had.
Yeah.
Right there with you.
I think there's
fellow lab coat.
I think because of like eras where I wasn't really collecting and certain cards that I haven't recollected or like investigated, I haven't always categorized them in my head with those type of things where certain other cards I'd be like, oh yeah, this set, that thing, boom, done. But not this.
I mean, I collect Pikachus and I struggle even with Pikachus on the years and the set sometimes. Like there's just so many.
Oh yeah.
It's just crazy. And like you say, that's a very like valid thought. The fact that you weren't collecting or doing anything at that point, because I think we've all been there. Like none of us have been sat there for the whole 26 years. It's been going and collecting every card and looking at every Charizard.
Yeah.
But I think the goal of this is to maybe educate people that haven't seen it too. Like I would want to know about this card if I collected Charizard. That's a cool artwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome. All right, let's hit the next one. We got a blue boy. Also love, I don't know if you guys can see it on the video very well, but there's a little hollow pattern in the middle of the text.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love that.
Is it a fire energy? Like a
yeah, I think it is. That's what I thought it was. Yeah, fire energy. But
is this the first shiny Charizard?
No, Neo Destiny.
Oh, that's right. The shiny.
Shine in. Yeah.
That's right.
All right, you guys ready?
We're ready.
Just have a date again.
No set. It's harder on the English sets, right? There's been so many. It is difficult.
This era I have not looked into.
Okay, hit me. We got 2012, Plasma Storm, 20. Andrew, I can't see yours.
Oh, 2014 Plasma Blast.
Oh, I think that's right.
2012 Plasma Storm.
Shit.
Hey,
man.
These dates.
It was one of the plasmas.
Yeah, Mason Berry Plasma something. That's spot on.
I actually, the only reason why I know this is because I was watching a video a day or two ago and someone was talking about like black and white and like how it's kind of maybe not undervalued, but maybe underappreciated. And I was like, you know what? I don't know too many of these sets that well. And I started going through. I'm like, oh man, these shining secret rares are really, really cool. And I saw this Charizard. I was like, I'll never afford that. But it's a great looking card. And I remember Plasma Storm from that. It's the only way. Yes, the date was a guess. So looking like I'm going to have to call up my Lost Origin dealer. Hello. Yeah.
Nick said that he got some in old school Pokemon. Yeah, give him a call, see if he gets some from him. He said he just got some. So Mason might have some left. I think he was doing a break the other day. Yeah, that one's a trickier one. That I felt a little guilty putting that one in because it's not that well loved. It's like not that special artwork. It's not like super in your face of like, oh, I know what that is kind of thing. But I don't feel guilty. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, don't.
Another EX.
I actually have a set name for this one.
You
I don't know
sure?
if it's right, but
You sure?
This is a tricky one.
Yeah. I don't think I'm using the right name here, but
3 points for this one for three different reasons, but I'm not going to tell you till I see your answers.
Okay.
Tell me when you're all ready.
ready.
I feel like there's an extra point here. Yeah, I'm gonna just call it at that.
Don't know if I'm ready.
Let's see. Generations 2016.
No.
Radiant 2015, 2016 generations. Oh. It was a 2014
Oh man. No
XY promo.
Ah. That
So
promo.
I was going to do the year, the generation, and then the fact that it was a promo.
Wow.
So, No.
Was this artwork reprinted in Generations though, or was it just very similar?
Just
Yeah, that's
I
cool.
thought it was in Evolutions or something. Yeah, I feel like I've seen it in something else. It looks very similar to another card that I can think of, but I can't remember which card it is.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing when I saw it. I knew that was going to be a hard one.
Oh yeah.
What do you guys think of the actual artwork on the card? It feels really busy to me.
Yeah, it's a pass.
Yeah. I think the flames going down throughout the card, like it looks cool in a sense, but when it gets all throughout the card and it's involved in the artwork and like around Charizard's claws and stuff, it is a bit busy. Kind of takes away from it being like a playable card in a way. Not necessarily takes away, but just a bit busy.
Yeah, I think that like the format is cool. I think the format's cool, like what Bondo was just saying there. But I think that like it lacks like personality, I guess. Like it doesn't really seem like there's much substance there in the actual artwork of the Pokemon.
I like the megas a lot more because I actually like the Japanese text included with the character. I think that's super unique.
Yeah, I like that too. I think there was a couple of Evolutions cards with Charizard and Blastoise and stuff, right, where they had the Japanese text.
Yeah.
That looked cool. I like that. It makes it feel like, I don't know, like drawing back to its roots, but like a modern version kind of, I don't know, something about it. Okay. This one's, I don't know how to blow this up. It looks really small. Sorry, guys.
I hate to be that guy, but I literally right here on my desk.
We also can see that it's a promo.
I definitely didn't cut off the bottom on this one. So there's a cheat.
You gotta guess the year. That's the key.
Okay.
Can you guys see the number and stuff?
I believe it has the year on it too, so maybe this is a wash.
I don't know if I can't read it. It's on there. I can't read it.
Wait, you guys thought the boomer wouldn't do a boomer mistake. You expect too much of me. Hey, I'll give you that one. It's 2016 XY promo.
Yeah.
It's the same set, but it's 2016.
Yeah.
So there's a couple here that somebody is definitely going to get because we already talked about it. But a couple of questions now. True or false? Real quick, speed answer. Charizard was the first Pokemon to appear in the Japanese anime.
False. Oh, do we write it down? Sorry.
Write it down real quick.
Yeah.
True or false? Or a T or an F or whatever. All right. False. True. False. It's true. It was actually the first Pokemon in the Japanese anime.
Oh, reading up on the Google questions yesterday. That's one of the few.
Oh, it was? It talked about that.
Are you asking me a question? Sorry.
I was just saying I didn't realize it would have said that on those questions you were talking about.
Oh yeah, no, I literally went on Google, I was like some facts about Charizard, and it was like, did you know Charizard's actually the first appearance in just Japanese anime? And I was like, now you know. I didn't know that.
Yeah, what was the first in the English? I feel like
it was Nidoran and Gengar, wasn't it? Don't they do the little like fight at the beginning?
Oh yeah, when they're actually fighting
or whatever.
That might be it.
Yeah, technically that would be. Yeah, that makes sense.
I think. Could be wrong.
Okay.
Hopefully they don't ask that question.
How tall is Charizard?
Oh,
No,
Java.
this one.
It's as tall as I am.
Yes. You said you were reading his height and weight on the card.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say you want weight too.
That might be the next one.
I'm guessing on this one.
It might be. How tall is Charizard? For the chat, I guess. You guys probably isn't fair, but what we got? 5'7", 5'7", 5'7". Pros.
Let's go.
5'7" all round. We are 5'7". He is a solid 9 inches smaller than me, so I could definitely take on Charizard.
Smack him.
No cap. Although, who is base set? Wait, how much does Charizard weigh?
Oh man, I don't know this one. Number guess for the night.
Do you remember that one, Java?
Oh yeah.
Oh crap. Andrew, what are you gonna guess?
You want me to show it?
You can.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not a guess.
You got it.
Off.
Oh yeah, it's 200. 199.5. Same. Yep, I'll give you that.
Spot on with the points. 2 points.
Sweet. Okay. I think I just hit this one on accident. Sorry. Who is base set Charizard's illustrator?
Is this a trick question?
Yes. There's a misconception sometimes with who actually.
Bullshit. What you mean?
You guys should know this. No pressure if you don't, but
Except everyone in chat silently.
I'm so rough with names, and like when the question is asked, can't remember for the life of me blank. But in the moment, if I'm reading, I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
of course.
Yeah.
It's of course it is. You can just do surname too. I don't need first name. I don't know if I could spell first name myself. So.
Oh man.
I hope I don't get this wrong.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm guessing.
All right, hit me. Arita,
Yep.
Hiroshi, Miss Arita. It's Arita.
Yeah, see the name as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's it.
Yep, it's a tricky one because a lot of people think of Pikachu. Well, obviously, base set Pikachu was Arita too. So, okay. I missed out many, but how many Charizard cards are there in the PSA Charizard Master Set Registry? And obviously, you guys aren't going to know this exact number. I'm going to take the closest is going to get 2 points.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I call TCA Gaming?
Phone a friend.
He is actually crushing it I was looking at him on the registry. You know what's, I don't want to spread gossip, but what's really interesting is, I don't know if you guys saw his video. He was talking about the gossip with E4 and stuff, and Scott and people selling some of their cards in the height. Gemmin used to be a leader on the Charizard registry. He is now at 34% completed.
Wow.
Just saying, definitely sold some Charizards and cashed out there. Something going on. He's definitely liquidating some of that. So I was pretty interested when I saw that earlier today. I hadn't realized that until I dived into a little bit. But yeah, little fun gossip fact for you there, chat.
Is this all languages or just English?
It's the master set. So like the true master set, not the English master set. So yeah, there is a mixture.
Oh man, I want to go really high. I don't know what's too high.
Let me tell you what the chat's saying. Marty said 50,000. Peak said 729. Brandon said 350. Peak said he's bringing up what I was saying about that TCA Gaming one. Thrifty said it's a bag, so don't worry about that. Mason said drama's a bag.
All right. Got a fair guess.
Semi-old guy porn star said 245 trillion. That's a lot. Probably physical copies, probably not too far off. All right, hit me with the guesses. 690, 169, 157. Bondo got it. There's 312.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness, that's a lot. I was at 69 to begin with when it was English, and then I was like, I'll just add a 1 in front of it.
Why not?
I had no idea.
So
There's that many.
I will give one bonus question.
How many Pikachus are there in comparison?
That was my bonus question.
Oh.
I'll give 3 points to whoever's closest
All right.
on the Pikachu full master set, not the English. The
Golly.
full master set. How many?
Can I ask a question that may or may not be answerable?
There's more Pikachus than Charizards, if that's
Yeah.
what you're asking.
So does this like include like cameo appearances of Pikachu? Like, are those in the registry as well?
Some.
So okay.
It's not every Pikachu card.
Right.
It is every Pikachu card that PSA is allowed in the registry. I've submitted 4 requests since May, and none of them have been accepted yet. But I did a couple before that, and they did get accepted and did get added. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I know what it's at right now, but it may change. Chat saying 2,000, 1,000, 769, 828, 730.
Big number.
Kind of all over the place. 808 or 8085. DNA. I see what you did there, but 5 needs to be at the beginning, remember.
Take this man's calculator.
All right, hit me with the guesses, guys. 3 points. 246, 569, 123. Bondo got it again. 684.
Oh,
dang.
I should have just kept my Charizard guess.
You should have.
Yeah.
It was right
You're
on.
very close. Okay, let's add them up. Java, you are at 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's pretty good.
Respectable.
Might be more than I would have got, honestly. Bondo, you're at 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 19. Holy moly.
Yes,
Maybe it wasn't respectable.
Wow, geez Louise. Drew, you're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You guys both hit 11. So 11, 19, and 11. And chat got 3, I think. So you guys crushed it against the chat. Sorry, chat, but you did not take the prize tonight. That was a tough one.
Nice.
My brain is like frazzled right now, mainly just because I guessed a lot and did well.
A lot of guessing. Let me hit this back real quick. Oh, they're in the right order too. Yeah. Okay. Way to go. Yeah, that was fun, guys. I mean, we blew half an hour there. That went for a lot longer than I thought it would. I didn't think I had that many, but we had some cool ones to talk about, so that was exciting. But I'm excited. I do have a couple of questions for you guys. Java, you like Charizard, right?
Yeah.
So how many of you have Charizard in your binders or slabs or are searching for that? Do you guys have special delivery to Charizard right now?
It's on the way. From Pokemon Center.
From Pokemon Center, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting on that email. I go on my email, they're like, on Twitter, people be like, oh, a new wave of Charizard deliveries have gone out. And I'm like, maybe this time. And then I type in customer care at hello, whatever the email is, and it's just blank. I sit there and
Yep. They must be getting smashed with emails right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I each got one, like on the initial, like, well, probably wave 2, I think.
Mhm.
One of them came back like pretty beat up. Like, I bought like those, I don't know, those little canvas prints. Sorry, I'm all turned around. Whatever, dude. the same ones that Dan has in his backgrounds.
Well, that's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I picked those up, and I guess for a warning, whoever like does get a code or whatever, don't order the canvas prints with your special delivery Charizard because they package the card separately.
Oh, man.
So one of mine came in like a box with bubble wrap. It was like really well taken care of, and the other one was just tossed in a bubble mailer. And it looked like it got ran over by a semi
Oh,
repeatedly.
jeez.
So condition will vary.
Yeah. I ended up just buying a code because I hadn't gotten one yet in the email, and I
I'm
was
getting
like,
near there. I'm getting near there.
They're like $10 right now, and $20 so $30 all in. That's pretty decent for something like that. I feel like.
Yeah, especially if you bought some like packs that you were gonna buy at GameStop or Targets, like you're just buying the code.
Yep.
One thing I was following they had a PSA 10 because I've been talking to a friend who happened to know a guy who had way too many codes that should be allowed for one single person to have, and I was like, it's kind of messed up. And he was talking to me about it, and he was like, well, if I bought a few off of him, like, what do you think the PSA like or 10 lowest price will be? We can try to like make a come up on it. I was like, honestly, they were at like 1,500 a week ago, and I just watched the last auction go up for $610, and it dropped dramatically in a week's time frame, or at least the last sale that I just saw. I don't know for sure if the person had high rating or low rating, and maybe people weren't so willing to purchase from them. But I was watching, I was like, I'll keep you updated, see where this ends at, and I ended at $610. So over $1,000 decrease in like a week.
Yeah.
It's been pretty dramatic. I think that Dan Catch 'em All Collectibles, I think he was saying that he sold his buy it now between like 6 or 7, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
670.
Yeah.
6,700. Yeah. I think 670 was that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It came down quicker than I expected. I thought that just like Charizard would kind of carry it for a while, but
Sure.
Yeah, sank fast.
There's too many of them.
Yeah. I think just like the ability, like in the past, in the Bidoof and the Pikachu is more kind of like it was out there. If you bought it, you got it, great. But this one was like marketed and pushed, and you have 4 days to enter. And I mean, in 4 days, the amount of people that probably reached, like I remember I saw it come up on Twitter, and within that day, there was like 100, 200, 300 tweets all about it. Like 300 people tweeted out, and another 1,000 of them see it. That's a lot of people that are, oh, let me sign in on my email, my girlfriend's email, my mother, my dad, my sister. Speaking of which, my girlfriend did enter, and I have not talked to her in the last week. So if I think she's walking dogs right now. When she comes back, I'm going to ask about the code. We'll see. Maybe that hit, because mine certainly hasn't hit.
Go check that email box. I think, it was interesting. Andrew, you were just talking about it with Dan talking on it live, and he was saying, he doesn't see it hitting below 50, long term, like maybe drop into that, like worst case scenario. I don't think I expected this many to be printed. I think that was quite a surprise how many have got out there, but also it's freaking Charizard. Like everybody wants that card. Like everybody wants a special delivery Charizard. And I think the big difference with what you were just saying, Bondo, with special delivery in Bidoof and special delivery Pikachu is they weren't anticipated.
Exactly.
Like we didn't really know that was going to come and that was going to happen and something to get excited about. Like I've been waiting for special delivery Charizard for quite a while. I remember a couple of months ago, like 3-4 months ago, talking about it on a live. Like, and I was the only person saying, yeah, they're going to print it. Like, I remember being on a live stream and like people were talking about it, and I was like, yeah, they're going to do it. It's going to come. It's going to come. Like, it's a thing. It's a real promo. It's in the book. Obviously, it's going to happen. I remember saying it, and like we've been anticipating that for a little while. So that's obviously part of it. People were guns ready, like ready to go and blast as soon as they got that tweet, as soon as they got that, that Discord notification, that Instagram post. Like people jumped on it, and some were more prepared than others. Like your friend, obviously, there's definitely some of that there. But I submitted one email. I was like, if I get it, I get it. And same time as Andrew, I think I got it on the second spin. Yeah, I think I got it pretty early on, so I got lucky, and it looks pretty clean. But I said I'm doing a giveaway on DNA's channel for it. I'm going to give it away because I don't like Charizards, and if I want to buy one again, they're super cheap right now, so I'm not too worried. But long-term PSA 10, I think I don't think they're ever going to be below 50. I agree with Dan. I think probably closer to 100, at least for the next year. But I think we're all a little unknown on the future of prices right now. It feels a little nerve-wracking, right?
I will say I've definitely seen a lot more come in damaged than in a 10 quality, or like
really
thrown in packages. People post them off center. Like a lot of a lot of issues with them because maybe the items that were purchased with it, just like what Java was saying, where you like, or Andrew was saying, where one came in and it was bubble wrap and such, and the other one came in just kind of thrown in. So if that's the case, if a lot of people are just ordering loose items and it's in a box getting shifted around, it taps a couple corners. Yeah, who knows?
I was surprised because when the first like amount of them started coming through in people's packages, I saw stories of people saying they actually taped them to the bottom of the box so that they didn't shift around and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome. And then shortly after, it was like, mine was just thrown in with the thing and it's bent in half. And well, they gave up on that pretty quick.
Yep.
But, yeah, for me, like I don't. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go for it.
For me, it's like I'm fine with this not being like a complete stonker card because, like, in my opinion, I'm glad that I was able to add a decent looking one to my collection just because of like the commemoration of like, I mean, 2022 is a pretty wild time, and like anyone who kind of like got in like in 2019 or early 2022 like was able to ride that wave for a little bit or whatever. And it was a wild, fast-paced time, and I think that the special delivery Charizard, like you were saying, Oak, like it's something that we anticipated for almost 2 years, and there's a lot of like hype, and it was almost like this like rumor of is this card ever going to be released or not? And I think that just that aspect of it, where it's just like there's so much anticipation behind the release, and I think it's just a neat card to have in your collection for that reason. Even though bots did, get a hold of the vast majority of them, and there's way more than we hoped there would be. But at the same time, kudos to the Pokemon Company for coming up with an insane way to clear their backlog of inventory, and otherwise usually dead time of the year. So
yeah,
smart business.
Definitely. I watched a video where someone said that too, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of like convenient. Like these times, like the end of the summer is usually when there's a little less hype than normal. Like leading up to Christmas, there's always a lot new sets and things along that coming out. And like, pretty ingenious idea they did."
Yeah, they've been killing it recently with that type of stuff because the trick or trade Halloween Pokemon cards are genius too. It's like you just print the ever living crap out of them and have every kid walking away with packs on Halloween night from someone's door, and you've just bred a whole bunch of new Pokemon creatures.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Every age. It touching every single age. If people truly use it for that, I don't know how many people are going to actually do that. I am skeptical of it, but hopefully there's enough supply out there because, I was in Walmart the other day and they had one box with 3 packs in. Mm-hmm. Like, that ain't enough to give out. Like, one person could give that out to, like, the neighborhood. Like, that's not enough for a Walmart's worth of shoppers to, like, actually give out to kids. You go to the candy aisle, there's, like, 5,000 bags of M&Ms and Reese's. Like, there's literally shelves and shelves and shelves. Like, that's what you need, And $15 for a pack, like, some Walmart shoppers right now with economy and inflation stuff, they might feel the pinch on, like, am I going to splash out on Pokemon cards for kids? Like, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer about it, but I'm a little skeptical on it. I think it is a little bit for the collectors in that sense when you really dig into the buy-in aspect of it and giving it away for free. But I think the people that do it, I think they're going to touch a lot of different ages, and there's going to be fingerprints throughout the country from it, which is very exciting. I do like that part of it a lot. That's a real good point.
Yeah, I've seen a couple like either shop owners or even just like a few local people that said, at upcoming trade nights or things where like kids might be there, like they'll have it stationed for kids. You can get a free pack if you come up to the booth, which is, I think that works too. Obviously it's not on Halloween, which I like. If I was 5 or 6 years old, like thinking back to when I was a kid, when I was into Pokemon, like playing the game and stuff, and I got a pack of cards and I was like, what the heck? I just wanted a Snickers cards. I don't want Snickers anymore. I hope everyone has these cards. I would have been excited.
Amazing. Yeah, I would have lost my mind.
The house next to us used to give out quarters. So we would always have like 3 different masks and 75 cents and then go up to the corner store and buy like a full-size candy bar with it.
Oh, yeah. Cheat code.
Yeah.
I dressed up as Professor Oak. I had basically this outfit with Pikachu and stuff last Halloween, and we set up like disco lights in the garage, and I bought a smoke machine. So like our driveway was like just covered in smoke. It was like eerie and stuff, and we had a bunch of kids come, and I can really imagine like kids being excited about those cards, like really genuinely excited, like you were saying, Mondo, like, oh my god, like I just thought I was gonna get Dollar Tree candy type stuff, and I got Pokemon, like actual packs of Pokemon cards. Like that's a cool feeling, especially if you get like a Pikachu or like, you know, whatever, like the favorite Pokemon is. You know, there was a bit of a selection in there. So yeah, I think it's fun. I like that it's stamped too, even though it's not original artwork. Like I like that it's stamped. I think that just kind of make it original in that aspect. Definitely going to be looking for the Pikachu for it for me, obviously, because it's slightly different for that master set. Hopefully, if they add it in. What other new stuff are you guys excited about? Are you excited about Lost Origin? It seems pretty fun.
I opened a booster box yesterday, and it was really good.
Oh, how we do? What was the best pull?
The Altar Aerodactyl, and I had 2 rainbow rares.
Wow.
And yeah, it was like one of every rarity, and then 2 rainbow rares in one box, which I've never seen that before, but maybe it's different with the V stars, because it was a V star rainbow and a trainer rainbow. So
I watched this guy doing a box break, and that's incredible. I've seen a few people post pictures. I'm like, how do you open boxes like this? I've opened so many booster boxes, and I'm just like, what does it feel like? But this guy was opening up a booster box, and there was just one out of a case that he opened that in the like 8th or 9th slot was a card backwards, and every single one of the cards that was backwards was a hit. It was like a V star, or he pulled like a couple packs that had like 2 radiant cards in it. And I'm like, what the heck? And I was like, when am I gonna buy a box that just like the broken box? I want it.
Broken error box.
Oh yeah.
So when there was that, I don't know if you guys remember that, but like in Fusion Strike, I think it was around Wave 2, there was like speculation of like those error boxes from Canada. Well, I bought an error box, or not, sorry, I bought a Fusion Strike box off of eBay or whatever, and I noticed it had the Canadian code or whatever, so I just ripped it on my channel in increments, you know, and I ended up hitting 3 alts out of that one Fusion Strike box, including the Gengar VMAX, and it was just nuts, dude. Like, I don't know.
No way.
It was insane, man. So
I thought that was spoof.
Hey, I wasn't gonna doubt it.
I saw some locals that also purchased a box. I saw a few videos, people talking about it, discussing it, and how like it was just like one distributor just had like a print run of broken boxes, and people were like, I'm gonna buy all those broken boxes, and we pull like 20 to 25 hits out of a booster box. I'm like,
oh, that was right. It was like an area. It was like one specific area, right? Yeah, it's coming back to me now. It's been a little while. Yeah, wow.
And like I think that it was like the UK Canada like stamp on the box, but you couldn't really tell if it was like the run that had the error or not until you saw like the black ink stamp code on the inside of the box. So like you don't actually know whether you have a chance at getting it until you crack it or whatever. But I mean, honestly, it was just a good excuse to open a Fusion Strike box. But yeah.
You know what you just got me thinking about? You're talking about the rainbow trainers that you pulled, Jova, and we were just talking about special delivery. The obvious choice seems to be Dragonite, right? Because of the anime and the original card and stuff that Black Star promo. I think it may seem too obvious for me. I don't know if it will hit. I think that would be the coolest out of any one of them, because it would like mean something. It would actually relate something. Like
it fits the character.
Yeah, there's like actually relevance there. Like there's no relevance with Bidoof delivering letters. Like there's just Pikachu or Charizard. Like there's nothing there. But Dragonite like actually did that. That's actually a thing. But I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on the next special delivery, if there's going to be another, because I think it could be a trainer. I think it could be a special delivery like Red, or special delivery like something that, or even like
just have Red flying through the air
or,
with Pikachu on his back, or what?
Yeah, or even like a special delivery like bag. not that kind of bag. Special delivery like satchel or something, like as a trainer, like item type card, something like that. I don't know. But you guys, I'm curious what you guys think, if it's going to be a Pokemon, or if it is, what you think it could be.
Great question.
Yeah.
No, that'd be cool. I think like they never put Ash in it, but it would be pretty cool if it was, like an Ash and then, Pikachu coming out of the backpack or whatever, and but I don't know why they just hate Ash. They always just swap it with Red.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. Personally, like I don't know. Like obviously them throwing in Bidoof was a little bit out of left field, but we like Bidoof in this house, so it's all right. But yeah, I think that this, in my opinion, would be the end of the special delivery gimmick, if you will. The Dragonite makes sense, and I think it'd be a good redemption round, because personally, like the original like WotC promo Dragonite just did not do it for me. I think the artwork was a little bit chintzy. So it'd be cool if they kind of like brought that card back to life or whatever, maybe with a little bit of like the Mewtwo Strikes Back vibe to it. But I think that, well, I don't think that this is like a continuation of the special delivery cards in the future. Like I do foresee the Pokemon Center utilizing this kind of like promo release style to kind of like clear inventory or create hype from time to time. I think it's a smart move. So
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be a Pokemon. Bondo, what do you think? Do you think it would be a Pokemon?
I mean, if I were to guess, maybe with the coming up of Scarlet and Violet, there could be a potential where there's like a new mythical Pokemon or something along those lines.
Quaxley is a bird.
A Quaxley that comes in and he's just dropping off packages. I would honestly, I love Dragonite. I would love to see them redo that card, like Andrew was saying, like revamp it a bit, give it a little bit more love. But I don't know
love that.
That's necessarily going to happen. Sorry, my dogs are going crazy out here. Sounds absolutely insane. I might have to mute myself. I'm going to let my answer be that. I'm going to go take care of the dogs quick. I'll be right back, and I'm going to check on the delivery code, the special delivery.
Yeah, no worries. Okay, so we're going for a special delivery Growlithe, I guess
I think Corviknight is like a mail delivery Pokemon from the new games.
Dude, that would be sick.
How did I think of that?
I think Corviknight's alt art is already kind of him delivering mail, isn't it?
Well, he's a cab, like the cab driver, right? Like it's a taxi Pokemon.
Yeah.
That would be really cool, though.
That could work.
Man.
Yeah, and they've given it a lot more love recently. Yeah, there's definitely been.
And Corviknight's cool.
For sure.
Yeah, people like it too. I don't think there's that many people that don't like. Oh, I hate Corviknight. It's not like Sinistea. It's not like a teacup or the Clef Key, or like, it's not like a dumb Pokemon. Like
I really don't like when they do that. When they make Pokemon out of inanimate objects or food. To me, it's just like, what are you doing?
It's weird. I took the Vanillux card that I pulled. I pulled a Vanillux from, I think it was Chilling Reign, and it was a square cut. It didn't have the corners clipped. I took it to Orlando Collecticon. I was going to get Vanilla Ice to sign it, and I never got a chance. He was like too busy. I never got a minute to like. I don't even know where he was doing signings. I couldn't even figure it out. Like it was just so busy and like so many things going on. But I was like, that would be a cool idea for like the guy who's at every Collecticon to like sign a square cut Vanillux card. But even that Pokemon, like, really, you had to make an ice cream Pokemon. Like you really had to do that.
And I kind of think at that point, like, are the people in the world of Pokemon, are they eating these Pokemon then? Because I would. Like, you put an Alcremie in front of me, that's dessert. I'm going to eat that. Like, why wouldn't you? Like, do they eat Miltanks for steak? Like,
absolutely.
They have to, right?
Absolutely, I would do that. Krabby, Friday night Krabby night, At the oyster bar, absolutely, that's happening.
Get on. There's Pokemon now.
Yep.
Yeah, we're chowing down.
No malasadas or whatever they eat in Gen 7.
Okay, so what would be the worst tasting Pokemon? Let's
Trubbish.
get crazy.
Garbodor. Yeah, Trubbish or Garbodor.
Too obvious.
Or Muck or Brent. One of the
Muck.
two.
Yeah, that would be nasty.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Yeah, that yeah. You may have sealed the deal there, Mark.
Also, bad news: no special delivery Charizard code.
Oof.
Another L.
Yet.
Take
Growth
it.
mindset.
Yes.
12 weeks. Of
Carol Dweck. That's
No,
right.
I got like 4. What is it? 4 more weeks or something like that. 4 or 5 more weeks.
something.
Or until
I thought-
last.
Yeah. By that
I
time,
thought it was last week that it
Oh.
ended.
Oh, they said 12 weeks, and I think
We'll see.
still have some.
Yeah, I think I misunderstood the 12-week thing. I thought they were letting you use it for 12 weeks, but I guess that's the December 21st thing, right?
Yeah, they have through the end of the year. I'm pretty sure to use it.
So I got mixed up with the two things. So yeah, there's still potential. I mean, in real reality, like it hasn't been that long. You definitely got a chance there.
The only thing I'm happy about when it comes to that is my cousin, who I grew up. I played Pokemon with him. We played the games and things along that line. He found like his old cards a couple of years ago, and like every now and then he'll text me. He's like, "Oh, check out this thing I bought on eBay." I'm like, "You're buying Pokemon cards? What?" I told him about the special delivery Charizard. I was like, "Hey man, like although you probably don't need to buy more Pokemon cards or don't want to, you might as well enter for this." He got it during the second week of the waves, and I was like, you know, I'm happy for you. I'm sad for myself, but I'm happy for you. So at least there was a positive in that whole scenario.
Happy for you, but also screw you.
Yeah. Also, we're no longer cousins.
Zard Collect that I was talking about earlier, you know, I've done quite a lot of trades with him. He is big Charizard collector. He was itching for that code, and it didn't come yet.
Yep.
So he bought one on eBay. He bought one of the cards off eBay. I think he paid like $50 when they were around the $50 mark. And then he got his code on Wednesday.
That's what I'm hoping not to do.
Yeah, so now he's got 2 at least. He'll probably pick the better if he is going to grade one. But yeah, I think it's technically free.
Yeah.
Like, which I think is awesome too. I love that aspect of it because you can spend $20 on a pack of cards and you don't have to pay anything extra for the Charizard to come with it. I mean, unless you're buying the code. You know, if you actually get the code, it's free. So I really do think it's a cool thing that they did. Yeah, obviously inciting more sales or whatever from the Pokemon Center, but I love that kind of stuff. You know, I think it's great.
Yep.
A little concerned that the bots got through because I thought the whole point of subscribing and giving your info was so that like they didn't get botted out. That didn't happen, but it did happen.
Yeah. Can I give some insider trading info about? I won't reveal any names or anybody, but
Enlighten us.
The person that I talked to that was like, oh, I was talking to this guy who was in either a Discord or a group or something. He was like, the guy apparently had over like 1,600 codes, and I was like, dude, that's just messed up. And I was like, 1,600 codes, people are able to do that. And he was like, yeah, man, I don't know. I'm just going to try to buy some off him because I want some codes to maybe create a Charizard. I was like, yeah, but like 1,600 codes, like make fake addresses and have them all delivered to, like, how is that possible? How is Pokemon Center? Oh, God.
There was a full form to
Yeah.
fill out.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how it happened. And I don't know if that number is accurate. It could be exaggerated. The guy that was selling them might have just been like, oh, I have all these codes, so send anyone you know to me to buy them. But when he told me that, I was on the phone with him driving home. He's like, I think I got to like a play. Like, if you want to like get in on this, I'm like, I don't really want like all these codes. Like, I don't want to spend money on it. And also, like, I don't like the idea where they're coming from. And when he told me like the number, he was like, yeah, this guy told me X amount. I was like, shut up. There's no way. He was like, that's what he told me. I was like, that's ridiculous. That should not be allowed. That should be illegal. Yeah.
Seems like this is a problem that the Pokemon company's been fighting for a long time, and it's been like one of the least successful endeavors.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's like,
for years.
yeah.
Anymore.
I mean, Oak, you would know more about this than I do when it comes to like tech and like back end stuff like that. But like, even if there's no way to really like filter them on the front end, like you would think that there'd be some way to trace back to like all these codes going to the same IP address or whatever, you know, and some kind of like secondary repercussion on that end, you know.
So I did notice that the code system was given out by a third party. It wasn't Pokemon Center. They didn't have their own developers and their own IT team do it. It was a third party company that did the distribution of the codes, the collection and distribution. So maybe they've done it before for other companies and products. So people had bots ready that were like linked up with their style of form or their code or something. There may be more to it that I'm not aware of, but I think people were prepped. You know, we talked earlier about anticipation. People were definitely prepped for this. Like, you don't write a bot that quickly to fill out a form like that quickly. Like, it doesn't happen, especially with the codes. Like, people were literally saying those kind of numbers like the week of release and stuff. Like, people were the week after had 100. I saw pictures on Instagram of people with 100 of them, like literally the next week. So they were ready to go. They got them and ran with it.
Yeah, just coffee tables of just delivery Charizards.
Nuts. It makes you feel so vanilla. It makes you feel so like beige, right? So like plain. Like, God, why am I not an asshole? Like, it's crazy that people would do that kind of stuff. But I mean, we've seen it before. McDonald's, we've seen it with, you know, Target, Walmart. Like, we've seen it, all these things these past couple of years of people jumping on it. I went to Walmart the other day, and I'm ecstatic that there were Pokemon cards sitting there. They're like, you could actually look around. They had Shining Fates, obviously. They had Vivid Voltage, Darkness Ablaze. There was Fusion Strike. There was just a bunch of different sets. Yeah, it was cool. There was all different stuff there. Yeah, Evolving Skies single pack blisters, even. Like, there was all different things. There was plushes and little toys, and there was even a jigsaw puzzle. Like, there was all different stuff, and I'm like, we waited a long time to get back to this, to like it just being a normal thing again, you know. So even though we've got that craziness going on with bots and stuff, like in the real world, it is pretty back to normal for the most part, I think.
I was thinking about this yesterday, and it's like a little bit like of a philosophical thing, so sorry, but like, there are people who entered and exited the hobby that never experienced supply on Walmart shelves. In the time that they entered and exited, there was never actually cards available on a regular basis. Like, their lifespan was just in that window of like everybody like buying and selling modern product and stuff like that. So there's people who have never actually like experienced just being able to go to Walmart and like buy a pack of cards casually or whatever. Like, that to me, it just like blew my mind to think about one day, but I don't know. Good dose of perspective, you know?
Yeah.
Because back in like, so I got back in the hobby like late 2019, like around the release of Cosmic Eclipse. And like, that stuff was just all over the place. There are collection boxes that are going for hundreds of dollars right now that used to just collect dust on store shelves, you know? And this, like, it was just the norm, you know? And it's cool to see things kind of going back that way on some levels, but yeah, it's wild. Crazy times.
Yeah. I saw a clearance at my Walmart, clearance collection boxes of Pokemon cards.
Wow.
Got that.
The Bullfront ones?
The Bulletin.
Yeah.
$15.
But
belong on clearance.
Evolving Skies, 2 Brilliant Stars, and a Fusion Strike, I think. That's not that bad for that spread. But yeah, we went from not being able to find anything in the store and everything being overpriced online to being able to find stuff in store, but now they're cheaper than store online.
Yeah.
I go to the store and I look at the shelf and I'm like, I can buy that for a lot less online, and then I walk away.
Yep.
It's completely different. Yeah.
I think one of my biggest regrets when it came to like Pokemon, and this is kind of like my entrance back into Pokemon. So right after I graduated college, a good friend of mine, like, we had talked about something sophomore year where I was going to give him Pokemon Red. I I had the old game and I was like, oh, I haven't played in years. Like I miss Pokemon, but I wasn't really like into it to the point. I ended up giving him the game, and then like within like a week, I started like, damn, why did I do that? And I like got into buying, some of the games here and there. And at the time, I was working at a retail location right next door to a GameStop, like within like a Chuck a Little Rock, and I'm at GameStop. And after work, almost every single day, I would walk in there, and I did not one time go like, "Oh, Pokemon cards, let me buy those." Not one time, and I'm pissed. Like it regrets leaving the hobby, sure, and for the years from like I don't know necessarily when I exited, probably like 2011, but I wasn't collecting cards, I was just playing the games. To that time frame from 2018 or 20, yeah, it would have been, I graduated 2018, and then that summer I worked there for like a year. In that whole time frame, I would go in, I'd buy some Funko Pops, I'd go in maybe buy a game or two, I bought a Switch. I was like, oh, this is fantastic. But if I had just bought some cards, maybe open spec, maybe I would have pulled something cool that like now is out of the realm of possibility for me to want to just like, oh, let me go buy that, like tag team box for $120 just casually that's sit on my shelf. Or I could have bought it for probably like GameStop $5 coupon off for $25, and it would have been fine. But that's one of my bigger regrets, is that I was sitting there and I was starting to buy the games again, but the cards were just like over my head. Like I wasn't even considering it until I started actually getting back into Pokemon Go, and like that I think resurged a lot of my what's the word? Evolution now. Maybe involvement into the hobby. And I would like go to my GameStop, and they would have a couple packs here and there. I remember buying like Sword and Shield base. I'm like, oh, look, it's got like a Lapras or something on it, like a VMAT. That's pretty cool. I used him in Sword and Shield when I was, playing competitive. What a cool card. Didn't pull anything, and I was just like, this is kind of fun. No regrets. And then like I remember there was like a short time frame where like Champions Path came out, and the guy was like, oh, you could put a pre-order in. And it was like Shining Fates. I was like, you could put a pre-order in. And right in that time frame when I was going in, I would go in like a week or two later, and there was nothing. I was like, weird. Where's all the cards? And he was like, oh, they're sold out. And I was like, what? And I would go to Target. They were sold out. I'm like, strange. Where are all these cards? And then I I was probably a week or two behind the ball, where it was like, oh, Logan Paul with the first edition booster box, whatever. And then everything was just madness. And I was like, I can't even enjoy this anymore. I just got back into it. But I think that that speed bump made me more invested into like, how do I do this at a better cost, or how do I do this cheaper? How do I find cards elsewhere? And that's when I got into like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, watching stuff. So a lot of hoops to jump through, but we're here.
I love that. That's a great story. You know what I was thinking the whole time when you the first part when you're talking about like not buying some of that stuff and regretting it.
Right.
I know damn well if you would have bought it, you wouldn't have sold that too, because no one was like really selling cards back then. That wasn't like a thing to like make profit. You were collecting. You would have either left it sealed or opened it, threw it in a binder, like enjoyed it. It would have sat there, sat in a pile or whatever. And then now, this past year or two, you would have been like, oh, I have that card that's now worth $60. I have that card that's worth $40 now, that kind of stuff. I could just picture it in my head when you were saying it. It's like such a cool thought. But yeah, I mean, I think we've probably all got that about a certain period in time of we wish we would have done that. Mm-hmm. But like right now, there's cards that we can buy that are going to be worth more in the future. But which? Like we don't. It's all a risk. It's all a gamble. Like we don't know which. Like, is it special delivery Charizard? Mm-hmm. $10 code and buy a T-shirt. I mean, could be.
Yep. I wouldn't bet on that.
Me either. I'm not doing that play. Trust me. But like, there's got to be something that's worth more. I mean, I got a real like, I don't know, a weird example. I guess I bought a Rebel Clash ETB from Nick, Old School Pokemon. I bought it from him quite a while back for $70 when it started going up. And I remember thinking, like, did you, after I bought it, I felt a little bit of guilt on myself. Like, did you really just spend $70 on a Rebel Clash ETB. Like, dude, that's really silly. Like, why do you just do that? I had a bit of a word myself, and it's now selling for like 110, 112.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Rebel Clash.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's shit. There's like nothing in it. It's selling for 112.
I think there's some traders in it, right?
Yeah, there's a few.
Like the
yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, overall, it's pretty.
You're not pulling them in an ETB though. Like, let's get real. You're not pulling good cards in that ETB. Like, the chances is pretty low. Like, it's not something that I'm going to spend $110 to take a risk on to pull. Like, it's not that level of like excitement or like hits or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, that's a classic example of like, at the time, not great. A year later, not that great. A little bit later, not that great. But now, like, it's triple.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
And you know
dumb.
what's crazy? Like, Rebel Clash at 110, you can pick up Hidden Fates for 130, and it's like 3 times better of a set, you know? Like, I mean, there's all kinds of comparisons out there right now. Like, I mean, you could drop a hefty amount of dollars on a Lost Origins case, or you can go out and buy like a really rare promo that there's like less than 1,000 of total. You know, like, it's just all like what people are willing, how much thought people are willing to put into these sorts of plays and stuff like that. Like, but yeah, it's interesting how Rebel Clash ended up like stonking out a little bit like that, because it is a crappy set. Man. It is not good. I won't sugarcoat that.
Yeah, silly. $100. I think that's a good point that you just said. $100.
By a lot.
I can think of 100 other things that I could spend that money on that like are exciting too. Not even just like gonna double or stonk or whatever in the future, but like I would genuinely enjoy. I had no enjoyment from the ATB. I was literally just collecting ATBs at that point. And that's why I spent the $70 on it, feeling silly, but that was just the cheapest I could find. Nick obviously had the best price on it, and I think it was the last one that he had left that I got. But yeah, I can think of so many things under 100 that could probably add up to 100 even. I could buy a few things even if you went that approach. It's just, I think YouTube's been helpful. Discord, Instagram. I mean, you were talking about it earlier, Bondo, Twitter, Facebook, even like those kind of things. Just educating yourself and seeing what do people love, what do I enjoy, like what are people in. I can tell you, people freaking love Pikachu. Like I collect Pikachu. Like there's some Pikachu cards that are very difficult to get. There's one I'm looking at right now that's a set card, non-holo. $3 card. Like in my eyes, it's $3 card. The lowest listed is $542 in a PSA 10.
Sheesh.
$542. So yeah, I mean, it's just like, just is what it is. Like people are crazy. Like people are into that stuff. There's free promos from Japan that are going for $100. Like a free, just like the special delivery Charizard, and educating yourself and seeing those things and seeing what's happening and what people love and enjoy. Sweet spot. That's all it is. You just got to trigger people's emotions. Like special delivery Charizard is done just that. People are buying it. No matter what the price is, that's always going to sell, no matter what it's listed at.
Yeah. What did you guys think of that super out of the blue GameStop exclusive Arceus box that dropped for pre-order today?
Yeah, I didn't know anything about that. Was that a surprise for everyone?
It was a surprise.
Didn't know anything about it. There's 2 metal cards in it. Like
I knew UPC was coming, but I didn't know that it was going to be a GameStop exclusive and that it was going to happen today or what was in it. They were just, I remember when the Charizard UPC came out, they said, and there's also potential Arceus UPC around $100. And at first I was looking at it and it looked just like the regular VMV Star. And I was like, why am I spending $100 for that? But it's a metal card. So I pre-ordered one. I mean, you don't have to pay for it now. It's, I guess, in theory, good to have it. And if you want to cancel the pre-order, I'm pretty sure you could cancel it and not have to spend it before December. But who knows if they're going to, print these to the absolute max. And then every time you go into your GameStop from December till March of next year, there'll be a Arceus UPC sitting there and anybody and their mom can buy them, or if they're going to sell off every time they come in. So.
Yeah, That's a tough one. I think like I checked the product out or whatever. Just it did catch me off guard, but it's cool that you heard about it before, Bondo.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you've got like $55 of packs, and then 2 metal cards that are not like they don't hit like the OG Pikachu or Charizard. And so for me, it was a pass. Like I don't see the value there, but not like I don't yuck yums or anything like that. Like I think a lot of people will think it's a cool little like box or whatever. So, but I think that like even though there could be a metric crap ton of the Charizard ones, I think that that's for me a much cooler product.
Definitely.
So
Definitely.
I don't think they're overprinting premium collections. Any of them. I really don't think there's a big heavy print volume on that stuff.
They're difficult to put together. They're not like it's just a booster box. So you gotta add all these unique items in it.
That's a very good point. The problem is what needs to match up with that is the demand. Because if there isn't that much demand and people are thinking it's Arceus, so I've seen that picture, I've seen that artwork, or it's like there's no Charizard in it, it's not this, like it's not exactly what I want. Plus, people are looking for the Charizard one. Like it's a very similar time frame, that they're going up against each other almost.
Yeah.
If the demand's not there, I don't know.
I would have loved to see like a slight variation of like this is the image of the metal card, which is the exact image of a regular card. Yeah. And although it's metal, and I mean, one thing I was talking about someone with earlier, because they were like, I have no interest in it. Like, why would I buy this? And I was like, I mean, it is going to be the second time they've done a metal card that Pokemon has printed. If they do this for the next, 10 years where they do a UPC and there's a metal card in it, could the earlier ones be, maybe a little bit more interesting to some people? I don't know. I think I'm probably going to get one box to keep sealed because it's going to look nice. And I personally, I do like the look of the box.
Yeah.
After the fact, I'll probably just buy the metal cards when they go down to a couple dollars a piece. I'd probably be like within the $15 to $30 range if I were to guess. Maybe less, who knows, depending on the demand, like you said. So I'll probably wait for that and then just see what happens. I'm not interested in buying to resell. So
I think keyword's PSA. I think PSA is the keyword in this, with them because they're still not grading metal cards, right?
I don't think any of the companies are.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
Because that is a big driving factor for a lot of people, is to, even if it's just to sell or flip or whatever, grade and flip, like people want to be able to grade cards. If it's something that you're never going to be able to grade and you collect graded cards, you got a pile of slabs right next to you. Like, I don't know. But tough. like you say, PSA in 2 years starts grading them. Now they want all of them.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to want to go back and start chasing the Arceus.
Exactly. Yeah.
Metal one.
Maybe. Yeah.
I feel like it not to say like I have no idea how grading companies would grade it, but I mean, if you throw those metal cards in a top loader or a sleeve or something like that, and it was fully encased, like I'm sure they could make some type of plastic encasing that they could then put the slab around and avoid having chipping and damage. I feel like it's not the most difficult fix. It might just be something where that the liability that they have in their hands grading a card, like say it comes in and they don't put it into the sleeve right away and it cracks, chips, damages, and they're liable, they're gonna be like, hey man, sorry, your card's damaged. But I feel like there could be a few techniques that come out in the next, like you said, in the next year or two, that, I mean, they grade packs that are from 1999 and they have a way of encasing it and keeping the pack in good condition and putting it in a lab. Who knows? So
I wonder if the weight of it creates more force within it or something. I'm imagining a rubber seal, like literally a rubber line of rubber around it, and then slapping the case. But what do I know? I mean, I was thinking the exact same thing. Maybe I'm just naive. Like, it seems like it's not that difficult. Yeah. Just hire an engineer for a day to design one. Like, spend 8 hours designing the slab. Like, it probably could get one done in that time.
Pikachu for $30 and just test it.
Yeah, go for it.
Going Gumbrave in the comment section really quick. Like, first of all, shout out Gumbrave. He's a really cool dude. I think he joined the Discord recently, Oak.
Sure did.
Rockstar. Like, maybe, like, I agree. Like, GameStop is definitely pivoting off of like the success of the Celebrations UPC there. But I don't necessarily think that it's not that Arceus doesn't hit the mark in particular. I think that for me, like, where's the Altar metal card? Like, why the flat V?
Yes.
That is not a good-looking card, and they have a high rarity, good artwork, and they missed the mark on that. Like,
or grab a couple of vintage cards out of like Platinum Arceus or something to throw in there,
right,
something interesting. But
or even the Arceus promo, like the promo that came with the Legends Arceus game. It looks a little bit better than the box. I mean, if that was metal, definitely.
Yeah, you could have done that card and the alternate art, and basically like 2 alternate arts in metal form. That would have been cool.
Yeah, and like what's interesting too is like, even I'm trying to think about this from like a playability perspective too, because Arceus decks are like big right now, but Arceus didn't win Worlds, and like that is like the standard playable version of the. I mean, obviously they have the same attacks and stuff like that, but like that's just like the base version that people would throw in their deck instead of like the Altar or whatever if they don't want to pay up for it. So like it just
would have looked nice.
Yeah. I don't know. That's why it was a miss for me. I think Arceus is cool, but that was a giant miss. Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're in a lot of ways. I'm assuming it's English exclusive product, and I think in a lot of ways they just phone it in for that stuff. Because even if you look at the trick or trade cards, they're literally the cards from the other sets. They have the same set numbers and everything, and they just throw the stamp on there, I think, and send them out the door. Because, you know, the Pikachu's non-hollow, like all of the like commons and uncommons are still non-hollow, and it's just the rares that are hollow. So it's like they're just slapping that stamp on there, throwing them in 3-pack things and sending them out the door. They're doing nothing special.
Yep. Like
how cool would it have been to have, you know, exclusive Halloween artworks or like some sort of chase within those sets? And it's like it's just nothing. And same with the holiday cards. They're just prints with a little snowflake on the thing and send it out the door.
Why is that snowflake so big? Why is it that? It's like massive.
Oh, the size. Yeah, no, it takes a lot of the card.
I haven't gotten my advent calendar in yet, but
yeah, I got one sitting up here that I was at Target the other day and I was like, yeah, I'll just buy it.
I don't know. They had them at Target.
Yeah, they it was kind of a surprise where I went in there and I was like, well, this will probably be like a similar restock of items like Shining Fates and Darkness Blaze, maybe Voltage type of stuff. And then they dropped the advent calendar and I was like, you know, maybe I'll get this now. And I mean, I'm sure they're going to be printing it more than enough throughout the, you know, holiday season where everybody that wants one can get one. But it's still a nice looking box in general. Like the box itself, sealed, looks really nice. The ability to go through. I watched a video of someone opening it, and like it's kind of like for a kid to go through. And if they were leading up to Christmas, they would probably have a great time opening it up, pulling out a pack. Oh, it's 13 days till Christmas. Like again, like I think about when I was a kid. If I had an advent calendar with Pokemon cards available, I would have been all for it. Kids nowadays that are going to get these boxes and lead up to Christmas where they'll probably get more Pokemon cards. They're probably going to have a good time opening it. And if I keep that box sealed and I don't do anything with it and I open another one down the line, who knows? So like it could just end up being a cool sealed item that I get to look at and enjoy in the future. So.
Yeah, it is cool. So are we doing a special set before Christmas? What's happening this winter?
Is there one? Or is
there's the incandescent Arcana
Tempest the last English set?
It is.
Because Japan has V-Star Universe, which I'm pretty hype about because I think the 3 Charizards from the UPC will be in that set. Which if they put 3 alternate art Charizards in one Japanese, like that's gonna be crazy.
Something's missing. I feel like something hasn't been leaked, and I'm kind of excited about that.
Is there usually 12.5, like a set 12.5?
Like a mini set?
Yeah.
Celebrations last year. Or
Right.
Celebrations was it November last year?
yeah, I think it was October, November, like late October 28th, I think was like the street date, but most retailers were getting them right around the start of November.
It's
When does
September.
that Tempest one come out?
November, I think.
Yeah.
November. Okay. Gotcha.
I watched a video today. Someone was talking about how, like the Lost Origins actually got like delayed a month. So technically, this was supposed to be like Lost Origins was supposed to come out mid-August. So in between sets is only going to be like 2 months between Silver Tempest, which is unique because I mean generally it's 3 months, 4 months. People get kind of like bored, but it's going to be like people are going to have Lost Origins. It'll probably be pretty popular for the next month, 2 months of product coming out. People are just I haven't got my chance to open it yet. And then boom, Silver Tempest is going to come. And I mean, if they do a Lugia alt art and it's like they push it and it comes out and it's like a really nice looking art, I can see some dramatic hype coming to it. Yeah. And then like both of you guys were saying how like some things might not have been revealed yet. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of things. They've only shown a small bit of the set list thus far, so no alt arts. Who knows what? Like, imagine if it was like a shiny alt art Lugia V-Star. Right. I don't know, like, but I would lose my shit because I love Lugia. So,
did you guys also fall for that like fake teaser of the Lugia V alt art? Yeah, I think.
I sent it to like 2 or 3 people. I sent it and I was like, "Oh man, that looks fantastic! It's got the EVs." And then they were like, "Oh, this is just an old artwork that someone made into art." I'm like, "It's that easy, huh?"
Yeah, it is.
That would be a cool card, though.
Super cool.
Is Lugia already on an ETB? I'm still trying to wrap my head around putting Vulpix on the side of an ETB.
He is.
I don't get it.
It's like one of the original, like either maybe Plasma Storm or
one of the plasmas. Okay.
It's a black and gold box.
I was going to say Plasma, but I don't remember which one. I feel like I have seen it on one.
Yeah. I think Knowledge Cards made a video yesterday or the day before. We was talking about like buy, sell, hold type of stuff, and I was watching it, and a few cards came up that I've actually like I haven't really like seen to the point where like maybe I've seen it, but I haven't been like like let me look at this card on eBay or TCG Player and see what they go for. And he put up that Lugia ETB, and I'm like, dang, that thing is nice looking. And then I was imagining the price. I didn't even want to look it up because it's probably in the like $1,000 to $2,000 range, but. It's up there. It's certainly up there. I'm gonna take a look right now, actually.
He should have done Rebel Clash ETBs, right?
Oh yeah.
I wasn't around prior to the boom. I came in like right during all that period. But is the sealed product being its own sort of collectible? Is that new? Like I feel like that's fairly new. Like people, I don't feel like people were stonking on ETBs prior to the boom.
Some people were that were heavy into it. Like definitely people have older ETBs. I've talked with quite a few people, but it wasn't like the norm because of the price point. Because back then, like we talked about earlier, you weren't buying stuff to sell it. You weren't buying stuff to rip it, to like do stuff with, make a profit, grade it, that kind of stuff. That wasn't as much of a thing. You were buying it because you wanted it. So like most people were opening the ATBs because they wanted to open the packs and get the cards and collect the set or look for a chase card or whatever. I think that's a big element of it. Whereas now it's like, I'm going to hold it because it could be worth this because of this price history or from this other set or this whatever. Like it's just the dynamic has just completely shifted away. Like everyone can grab. I mean, I've got 20 empty ETB boxes right there. Like it's just like literally everyone can like go out and buy an ETB today. We just talked about it. They got them at Walmart. Like, I mean,
empty ETBs.
It's a thing. Like it's just there. So yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of people that have a lot of the older things, and that's why the prices have been driven up so much. Some of them are ridiculous, like ridiculously expensive right now. But that's good because I think that sells modern ETBs too. Because if that person has that one, likely they're collecting all of them.
Yeah, that's something I still have not yet done because I don't think I could, is to have a sealed collection of some kind.
Don't do it.
I cannot have a sealed anything near me unless it spikes immediately in value. The only thing sealed I have is a first edition MetaZoo booster box because I bought it for like $150, and by the time it got to me, it was like $700. I was like, I'm not opening that. But everything else, when it comes in sealed, it's going straight to a video, and then that's it. Because I just can't. I'd rather open it than look at it, I guess. But
yeah, I've been able to bridge that with like blister packs, right? Like, I've got like so I collect a lot of Scythers. It's like my favorite Pokemon or whatever. And so in like trying to complete all the Scyther artworks that exist, I had to go for the original Jungle pack art as well.
Yep.
And I went for the blister pack specifically because of the fact that one, it's got like 2 more Scythers on the pack, so I think that's cool.
yeah.
But also like the blister itself is like something that has withstood the test of time, and like that's art in a way in itself, separately from the pack. And so long as the blister stays intact, I have no incentive to open that pack. You know what I mean? But yeah, if I couldn't probably keep a loose pack laying around for too long either.
Yeah.
I always fall into the crip where I'm like sitting there and it'll look at me and I'll look at it. Yes. I'm like, man, last time I opened some packs, they were trash. Maybe this one pack that I have sealed will have the alt art, and then I rip it. It's a non-hollow rare, and I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
But it's I do have a bit of a sealed collection. Like I actually just bought this Hidden Fates ETB pretty recently for a decent price. A guy was selling some of his collection off, and I'll keep a few things sealed because realistically, like just based off of my past, and I know it's not good to look at it this way, based off of my passive openings, when I open new things, they tend to just let me down. So I know if I open this Hidden Fates box, I'm going to pull probably like as my chase card, or not my chase card, but as my pull is going to be like, I don't know, Guzzlord GX Shiny Vault. And I'm going to be like, man, I should have kept that sealed. And
there always could be a Charizard.
There could be. And that's the thing where I'm like, I am tempted, but at this point, like I've tried to avoid opening my sealed. I don't have like a huge collection. I have a couple of things that I have on my shelf that I enjoy, that also like I like the look of the box or whatnot. But like in my opinion, I've kind of tried to step away from buying sealed items to rip and buy just singles that I want. And I've had people say, but isn't it so much better when you pull it? And I'm like, it feels great. I don't pull them often, like barely ever. But like I'd much rather know that like I spent $100 on this one card versus $600 trying to pull it in some situations. Some situations, like on a new set, if I spend a little bit more money and I don't pull the card, it's like, well, I was enjoying the new set coming out and opening some packs, opening some cards, and got some new cards that I never had. But after like Evolving Skies, like it beats me down. Brilliant Stars beat me down. Like there've been a lot of sets where in the recent time where I'm sitting there hoping to pull it, and I'm like, oh, this has got to be the one. Like I'm feeling good about this, and then it isn't the one, and I'm like, man, if I had just bought that Charizard V alt art when I first started, this would be over. I have a crazy story about that card too. That one, I can tell it. I don't know if anyone else wants to talk about it.
Go.
So when Brilliant Stars first came out, a friend of mine was like, hey man, I'm gonna go up to like this card shop by me up in New Hampshire. And do you want to come? Like I'm gonna grab like a booster box. It was on the Monday before the release on Friday. So they were releasing a little early. So we all went up there. And I was helping grab a few boxes for my friend who has a sports card shop that also does a little bit of Pokemon. I was like, yeah, I can grab you a couple. But when we got there, we each grabbed our booster box. And my friend was like, you know what? I'm going to grab one of the building battle kits too. And I was like, screw it, I'll grab one too. And the guy that was there, he was just super mellow guy. He was just like, yeah, you want one? Sure. Here. And gave him to him. And then the next time when I asked for it, he gave it to me in my hand and put it in a bag. And when I first took the box, I was like, you know what? He handed me this one, but he handed me this one, so I'm going to keep this one. I would feel bad if I swapped these, like just accidentally. And the one he handed my friend, who doesn't really even do Pokemon that much, he just like occasionally would buy. got the building battle. You probably know where this story's going. We walk over to the table. There's like a group of maybe like 4 or 5 guys that have been sitting there. You can tell they've been ripping boxes since the store opened. We sit down, open the building battle. I open my first pack, non-hollow rare or like a Torterra of hollow. I'm like, oh, cool. And my friend looks at me and goes, how do you know if a packet has a hit in it? I'm like, oh, the black border now. It's the white and green. He's like, oh, okay, I think I have a hit here. Goes through 1, 2, 3. And he looks at me and goes, holy crap. He like stands up and he's like, let's go. And everyone's like, did you just pull the Charizard? And he's like, out of his first pack that he opened that I had in my hands that like low key, like I didn't want to because like morally I would have felt terrible if I was like, I swapped these. Like I got the Charizard. But at the same time, from that day when he opened that card, he probably bought like maybe 20 packs. From that day, I probably bought like 3 or 4 boosters and hundreds of boxes, hundreds of dollars worth of packs and never pulled it. And I was like, if I just, that first day, like when I get these Lost Origin booster boxes in, I really want a Giratina V or an Aerodactyl V. I would love either of them. And it would kind of prevent me from having to be like, oh, I'll go buy more. But realistically, I know that it's a 1 in, 10 booster box. Maybe, no, it's probably even more than that. It's probably like 1 in 15 booster box pull of Giratina or the alt arts in general. So I'm just like, I'm fingers crossed, but I'm not expecting anything. I try to keep my expectations super low nowadays just because I don't have good luck. So, but yeah, that was the story. I was pretty upset when I was happy. Again, this is like my cousin. I was happy for him, but inside I was like,
that's how it goes.
Yeah. He sold the card the next day for $180. And I was like, I would have that card in my collection for the time until I no longer want to collect or until I pass it on to my kids. So that's more or less where it's like, I'm a collector and you were just flipping it. Like, oh, give it to me. But I bought it for resale, so it's whatever.
Yeah. For that set specifically, I was really excited because that set's great. Like people say Evo Skies is great, but I think Brilliant Stars with the trainer gallery with the Umbreons and then the Charizards and the Arceus, like that's an insane set. But I decided I was going to buy a full case of that to rip just for myself. No Charizards in the full case. And then I was like, I just gotten access to Whatnot to try selling on there. And so I started doing, it was like $1 auctions for packs. And I bought another case of Brilliant Stars. First box, I'm selling to other people.
Oh,
this guy spends $2 on a pack and pulls the Charizard. And it was like beautiful centering and everything. I'm like, well, that's the best $2 ever spent.
Yeah.
I guess I'll send that to you.
Yep.
Ugh,
it's the way she goes, the way of the road.
This is the only hit I got out of like probably 30 Brilliant Stars packs.
It's a good one, though.
Just that. It is cool. Yeah. So, you and I have had some conversation. We had a conversation yesterday about like a pretty high end card, right? Like, so I'm wondering, Java and Bondo, do you guys? We've talked a lot about like modern Pokemon, but do you two dabble at all in like more rare stuff, like any like more exclusive promos or anything like that?
Yeah.
Java's like, whoop. Is that it? Do I see a Luigi Pikachu?
Not the Luigi. I have the 2 Charizard ponchos and the Gyarados and Magikarp ponchos.
Nice.
And there's a 8 first edition Lugia on that side, and then a couple vintage Charizards on that side. But those are my most expensive cards, are the ponchos.
Yeah.
I don't have anything higher than that, but
I would say I like from where I was like getting into Pokemon, like moving around different jobs and stuff. I didn't have necessarily the capital to invest. There's so many cards that if I could just like drop it right now, I would. But like I'm going through multiple, like I started a new job 6 months ago. I also just opened a photography studio. This is like going to be my photography studio office. So like turning into a bit of a stream room as well. So there've been a lot of things where I've had to kind of limit what I buy, but kind of like splurge a little bit, with the money that I make from my part-time job. Like, yeah, I can put a couple $100 into this over the course of a month or whatnot. But I do try to get some older cards. Honestly, my favorite generation is like EX era, which is like the 03 to 07, even some a little bit earlier, like the e-readers. When I first got back into looking at cards and I found my binder, the majority of them were from that era. And like, I was like, man, I miss this. Like, I do remember going to some stores and pulling them. But like, this is just like, I'll just show 3 cards I picked up the other day. I went into a card shop and they're nothing crazy, but they're like pretty good condition. And I'm very happy with like some older cards now, where it's like I'm finding more sets and more things that are like more attainable, where when I was first getting back into it, looking for certain set cards wasn't necessarily as easy, because if someone posted, you know, a Dark Raichu first edition on Facebook, there was 15 other people bidding on it, and the other person more than likely was making more money to spend on it than me. But now that hype has died down, I've been able to kind of start chasing some more cards that I'm more interested in, that I want to add to my collection and grow. Like, I do have like a little box right down to the left of me that's like my like locked up, got a tracking beacon in it, just for God knows if anything bad were to happen. But like, I keep a lot of my older cards from my childhood in there, and then newer cards that I've been getting. Like, I'm a kind of in between, where like I really like a lot of modern cards. There's a lot of arts that like with my photography background, like this is a picture. I'll just flex real quick my photography. Like, I took that picture a while ago, so like I really enjoy things that have like a dramatic artwork, art style, or something along those lines. And when the image also kind of like, oh, like I look at the landscape behind it. Like, one of my favorite alt art cards is what is it? Zavork V alt.
Oh, I love that one. Yeah.
With like looking over like the wintry scenic mountain set. Like, I looked at that and like I love like his work there is sitting there, and his he looks cool and he's just like looking out. But like, then I look at the background, I'm like, oh, that background is pretty badass on a Pokemon card. Like, they haven't really done artwork like that as seriously in years past. But then I look back at like the EX cards is another like set that I'm trying to just, when I get them for a good price and light play or near mint condition, like I'll add them and take them. But nothing like super crazy. I haven't really gone 2 balls to the wall like yet, but I know the time is coming where I've even in the last week have been like considering just taking a lot of my modern, not so chase cards, like full arts and VMAXs, selling them off, and then just taking it and putting it into like a high-end card that I really want. So takes time. Oh, is that the one that you were talking about you want to get graded?
No, I just picked that up last night. $5.
Nice.
Aqua Magma Pikachu, real simple. You know, talking about EXs and what e-reader sets. $5. I mean, it looks squeaky clean. I felt like I robbed him. It's definitely has a shot at a 10, minimum of a 9, I would think, unless it comes with a dent or something. But they're the kind of plays that I love, where you can just throw a few bucks at something, just have a bit of fun, and just see if it works out. You know, it's that's a little trickier with modern, and easier to find something in a good condition, but trickier to make money from it if you're going to sell it. Where I don't want to spend 10 PSA 10 prices on some of these older cards. Sometimes, like they some of them going for silly money, even commons and uncommons. You know.
Oak, I got a card you might want to buy, but I'm probably not going to sell. So it's more just, but little bit of this guy. This is actually from a childhood little Ditto Pikachu reverse hollow.
Now you showed it to him, teasing him.
I bought it at TCG last week.
Oh, really? Oh,
at TCG Tampa.
I'm glad you bought it, so I don't feel obliged now that I just put it out there.
I don't know where it is. I literally have, you guys can't see because I have 20 million computers everywhere, but I've got like a whole like just row of Pikachus ready to grade. And I picked that up from someone, a bit of a deal. I think it's probably a 9. I don't know if it's a 10, but I had if you go back and watch the video of it, I had a t-shirt that I got from Pokemon Center. When I got the special delivery Charizard, I bought a t-shirt for the, with the code for the card. And it's the Ditto as Pikachu. And I don't think I've ever had so many people, so many strangers try to talk to me within a couple of hours as I have as when I wore that shirt. People were literally walking up to me saying, "Oh my God, I love your shirt. Oh my God, your shirt's hilarious. Oh my God, your shirt is so funny. Oh, cool shirt, bro." And I was like, wow, people really like Pikachu as a Ditto, like pretending to be Pikachu. Like people really like that shirt. It was a big deal. So that card, I mean, there's no surprise that it's so expensive in a 10. I mean, it's brilliant, and especially having the set too. You got like, Squirtles and stuff. Like you have other cards there where you can collect a set of them. I mean, that when I look at that compared to, let me think of like something similar, like special deliveries, like you talking earlier about Luigi, like some of the Mario cards, some of the cards, like for me that feels more wholesome, like bringing it back to like what truly the game was. It's Ditto, like pretending to be a Pokemon. It just feels like something raw about it. I love it. Yeah, I love it. There's a really cool card. I wish you hadn't shown me because now it's going to bug me until I get it.
Gotta get it graded.
Are you sending any of those Pikachus in at 22? Is it now? PSA.
When did you see them?
I don't know. I've got my 30 is on the way back this weekend. It just shipped last night. My 30 sub. I just waited a couple of months on that, and there's a Pikachu in there, and the other stuff I'm probably going to sell because they're mostly Pop 1 10s. You guys will see it. I'll make a video, but I've been spending a lot. I've been buying a lot, and I feel like now's the time where I should probably start selling some stuff.
Yeah.
And most of the good stuff I've got left is for me. It's not to sell. So I really need that price to come down because I have a lot of cards to grade for the personal collection. A lot. Like far too many. Like ridiculous too many for me. So yeah, what I really need to do is go through and figure out like what stuff can I grade and sell. And it's always a challenge because not all of it is 10 worthy, I'm sure all three of you have got a pile of cards right now that maybe waiting for cheaper grading or going to go through, pick out the best stuff, that kind of stuff. Like I've already done it. I've already gone through it. I've picked the best out. I've already submitted it. I've already sold it. I've already optimized what I have. So I'm like starting scratch again, basically. I'm starting from fresh. So I'm at a point where I have a bunch of collection stuff. I've spent too much on collection stuff, and now I've got to like start fresh with some inventory to start playing again. But I've seen some nice 9s and 9.5 CGCs on PWCC and on eBay lately that are potential Kraken slabs. I've seen a lot. I've seen a lot of bad ones, but I have seen a lot of good ones on there that are placed. So I may do a little bit more of that, a little bit more playing around with that, because there's definitely some PSA 10 worthy slabs out there that aren't in PSA 10 slabs.
Yeah, that's my ongoing battle in my head, is saving the amount of time it takes. Even if the price for PSA comes down to like $10 a card, $15 a card, the amount of time it takes. I mean, I think they're projecting 150 days or something on bulk, compared to what CGC is like. I think my last one was like 4 days bulk for 50 cards.
I just saw someone post 2 days today.
Yeah.
2 days.
It's crazy. Like, yes, you're going to get less 10s, and that sucks. And yes, they're going to sell for a little bit less, but the amount of movement like that you can do in that amount of time is, I don't know. If you did like the cost averaging or whatever the hell it would be, it might be better to go with the faster turnaround, even though you're making less, to just continue the churn. Yeah.
I could see that. I mean, if you make $5 a month or $60 a year, it's the same money, right? But if you can make $20 a month on a card that you keep, repeating on, or $100 a year, well, then you do have the edge on the monthly one. So if you were in it to make money, you can do the repetitiveness of the cycle. Like, that's a very, very poignant topic right there. Like, I mean, it's math at that point, right?
And like with what Gump Brave says, I think to a certain extent that's probably true. With the PSA continues to advertise their turnaround times as very conservative dates, and they're turning around faster than that. That's probably true, but it's also hard to quantify when they're not doing everything in order.
Yeah.
When people are getting 18s back before 50s that are submitted prior to their 18s and stuff like that, it doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no.
We should call them out on that right now, live on YouTube, because
I think they've been called out a lot on that.
Yeah. I'm gonna call it out right now. I am a huge proponent. I'm a huge fan of PSA, but it does say specifically in their post about when they changed to $30, right? A little while back, they moved it down to the $30 tier. It specifically says, there's a sentence that I went back and checked again on Monday night. And it says, we are not going to ship out a single $30 card until the whole of the whole of the backlog's clear. I went and checked that same service level, and it said April last year. So they're not done with the backlog. Like, the backlog's still there. Mine's on the way.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
It's going to be here Monday before people that are in the backlog. Like, yeah, that's great for me, whatever. Like, I'm going to be able to do whatever I want with my cards. But, like, you did not stick to your word on releasing that $30. And that feels gross for those people that are sat with that. And you specifically said on your forum post that you were going to wait and post and send those and grade them after the backlog was done. And they didn't.
Yeah.
Something feels gross about that.
Yeah.
PSA.
Yeah. I think we're getting some questions now.
Oh, yeah?
Pole Father, what's the best way to evaluate cards with one population? I have no idea. I got some of those from Marvel coming in from CGC that don't have any pop in PSA either. I have no idea where to evaluate that stuff. I guess try and find ones from similar sets, similar characters, and base it off of that, or just post it really high and see if you get some offers. Or I think that's what I've heard Dan say sometimes. I have no freaking clue.
I'm gonna auction that stuff that's coming in Monday is all brand new stuff. It's never been graded before, and I'm just gonna auction it and see what happens. YOLO.
So the trick is use as many emojis in the eBay listing as possible. Okay, the more emoji charts that you put going in an upward direction, the more clicks you're going to get on it for sure.
The rockets, yeah, the fire, the rockets, the chart, yeah.
It's not so much about the words, it's the emojis.
Yeah. Perfect.
Well, hey, Pool Father, actually, I bumped into him at TCG Con in Tampa, which was pretty exciting. We chatted for a minute. He was a really sweet guy. Is knocking some videos out. So welcome in, Pool Father. Welcome in, Nick, Old School Head Pokemon, Lord Pogismonk. We got a few more people joining, so that's cool.
I saw that Old School was in here. Like, I want to give him a shout out really quick. I think he's like unanimously known as like one of the best dudes in the hobby, period.
I love him.
The other day, I reached out to him just about like some question if he knew if a Yu Yu Hakusho theme deck case was the same size as a WotC Pokemon case, because I was looking for some acrylics or whatever. He sent me 2 of these things just for the cost of shipping because he had them laying around so that I could store my Yu Yu Hakusho theme deck case. Like, what a nice dude. Like, I don't know. Coolest thing of all time. Thank you very much, Nick. That means a lot. Everyone go subscribe to his channel too, for sure.
I love him.
And he has a website that I just bought some packs off of for my birthday. So
nice.
They're gonna have the chase cards.
They will have the hits.
I believe I saw possibly Old School Pokemon Pokenomics, and there's another guy, Dan, in a local group that are, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm mixing up the names, that are hosting a trade night up by me, which I'm looking forward to going to. I'm gonna wait to see if maybe he comments. But
yeah, I think Old School and Jake are doing that.
Yeah. I'm probably they're saying in New Hampshire range. It's probably like a 2-hour drive for me, but I'm taking.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah. I mean, I have work that night from 5 to 9 p.m. and it's from 1 to 6. So I'm going to try to see if I can move work schedules around, or if I can just say, hey, listen, I'm taking the day off. Too bad. I got to trade some Pokemon cards.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a cool event.
Yeah, we need to. That sounds exciting. We need to make that happen, because even if it's half an hour, just get in there and do it. This is what we need to do. We need to be more active. COVID needs to friggin' do one, and we need to get back in there and do real world stuff, because that's really exciting. I do want to shout out Pulfov real quick. He did grade. He's talking about it in the chat right now. I saw his video earlier. Great video, Pulfov. CGC, not pristine, but perfect.
Bro.
Fossil Dragonite, and it was the holo version.
Wow.
And that ain't easy.
Yeah,
like that
emojis for sure.
Like that is like ridiculous. Like I was gobsmacked when I saw that he got that in a perfect 10.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't think I've even seen a PSA 10 in real person, like in real life. Like no matter a CGC perfect 10, like that's incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited for him. I don't know if he's going to sell it. I don't know what his plan is, but that's going to pull a few. That's going to pull a few eyes towards it, I would think.
Yeah. So I saw DNA was given some advice regarding like pricing as well. So obviously, your odds of getting a CGC perfect 10 are much lower than a PSA 10 for sure. I don't think there's any like black labels of that card. So I would go with at least 3 Rockets, by the way. But yeah, you know, go a percent, some amount of percentage higher than a PSA 10. Maybe a little bit more than you expect to get from it to field some offers. But I mean, more than.
What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? Let's all take a guess of what we think that's actually worth.
The price of that?
Yeah.
I don't even know what a PSA 10 is worth.
Yeah. Can we, if we have that information, I feel more comfortable.
I got it.
You got it? Okay, let's hear it.
Yep. I haven't got it yet. I'm on it.
Okay.
I don't got it. I nearly got it.
This is the professor at his
I had to remove the lab coat, by the way. I'd been sat there for half an hour thinking, wow, this room's really freaking hot. And then I realized I'm wearing a freaking lab coat.
Well, now he's just imposter Professor Oak.
Drinking some whiskey doesn't help either.
That's for sure.
No, that's helping. I feel great.
Mason had a quick question. He said, what's your favorite promo from the Zard UPC? Which of the Zards is your favorite?
I like the one that everybody doesn't like. The big, scary, fire, huge VMAX one. Like, I guess it's a VMAX. The huge one is like, I'm going to jack you all up because I'm Charizardzilla.
The lame one. Yeah.
To be honest, I like the V-Star pre-release pictures that they had, and then someone kind of ruined it for me, and I may not explain it too much in case it ruins it for anyone else that might look at it, but there's an image of Mewtwo that throws you off a little bit, and that's all I'm going to say, and that kind of not has turned me away from it, but I still really like the art. I like that there's a lot going on. I actually do enjoy cards that have like a lot of like the art, the Giratina V. Like I like a lot of things going on because I can look at that card and investigate what every little nook and cranny is saying or doing. But I don't know. I'm kind of in between still. I guess the V-Star and the V-Max. I do like the laying down the Charizard V. I think it kind of reminisces. that's the thing. The Charizard laying down, it kind of is reminiscent of the V alt, like after a battle. And I think that's very cool, very unique that it's like, oh, they just had this crazy battle and Venusaur is up on the ledge sleeping, looking over him, and Charizard's got a little leaf on his nose, and he was like, yeah, I just took care of business. That was super effective. And I don't know. Personally, I like them all. I don't have one that I'm like necessarily going to be like, oh man, I really only want this out of the 3. Like if I get one, I'm going to want all 3. If I get a UPC, I'm going to open it for those cards just to enjoy them. So
I I think that's going to make a super cool display. If you have the Charizard fighting Venusaur, and then right after it, the one where they're sleeping, and then the big VMAX in the middle, and then you have the Mewtwo fighting Charizard coming out in V-Star Universe or whenever that comes out, and then the Charizard fighting Mewtwo, the opposite side of it. Like that would be an insane 5-card row.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you can't forget about the XY promo where like the original one where Venusaur is fighting Charizard.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
That's why I like that card in particular, because it is like it's a 3-part continuation or whatever. But honestly, I think that the vulgar V-Star one is still my favorite, despite the unfortunate illustration.
Yeah.
Are you just talking about his tail looking like something?
It looks like something.
His
yeah.
Foot.
Okay.
His foot, and his foot doesn't look anything like that.
That too. Yeah.
Which is annoying. But they had a pre-release image where it was like a different angle of Mewtwo, and that was like kind of when people were talking about, oh, what's the V-Star Altar from the UP set going to be? And they showed a little image, and it was like blurry and not very pixelated, or it was very pixelated, and it looks pretty cool. And then they released it, and I still like the image, but I mean, I think it's just that like once you see it, you can't unsee it kind of thing. And I mean, I'm still gonna enjoy the card, like I said. I'll still have it sitting with the rest of my Charizard cards, and I'll be like, I love this card, but I'll always look down. I'll be like,
all right, Oak.
Got that pop 10.
Okay.
Or that pop
so I just did a lot of searching. I'm either a dumbass or it hasn't been getting sold lately, but the last I can find is last October. It sold for a PSA 10 in the holo for $1,600.
List for 20.
That's a year ago. Like
a year ago?
Prices have come down since then.
Yeah,
true.
That's
for 20 though, and just do like allow offers, but no minimum, and just see what you get. Or like you could do a minimum at like, what was the price again? One more time, sorry.
1,600 in PSA 10.
Maybe do a minimum at like 10K, so you're only fielding like serious offers. But yeah, that's probably not a bad spot to start. I know someone mentioned earlier like double the recent sold price. I don't know.
I would go high, really high.
Yeah. If it's how what population on a perfect CGC 10, is it 1? Is it the only one? That's
first one.
I think my recent anecdotal that has nothing to do with this card at all and is with Modern was about 4 times as much. Same card, pristine 10 versus perfect 10. It went for about 4 times as much. So I'd probably $6 or $8 grand or 10. So somewhere, I don't know. I have no idea.
So I guess something that we could look into if we really wanted to like galaxy brain this for this dude, but like there is a perfect 10 Drowsy from first edition base set. Like compare that to like a PSA 10 first edition base set Drowsy, and we could kind of get like the multiplier or whatever, and that might be helpful to look at too. Is that the pole father that we're talking to about this? If you could find the difference, like the ratio between like a PSA 10 first edition base Drowsy to like the perfect 10 CGC first edition base Drowsy, might be something. I mean,
Lord
it's not.
Poke Smoke is wondering if it was 1.6K or 16K.
Oh, 1,600. I'm sorry.
Oh,
yes, $1,625
for a first ed fossil hollow Dragonite in a 10.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I know nothing about English card prices at all.
Bro, I don't know. That's surprisingly low in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't know, maybe $5 grand would be my number, just spitballing then. But
bingo.
Yeah.
That's exactly where my head was going, was just try and get rid of it at $5 grand. If I'm going to sell it, or you could have, if you're a CGC collector, I would if I was a CGC collector, I would never sell a perfect, especially not that card. Like that's pretty special. If I'm in it to win it, I'd be trying to fire sell it at $5 grand and just get rid and take that money ASAP. I mean, well, it costs. He didn't grade it with subgrades, so he paid $15 to grade that card.
Bro,
and he pulled it himself from a pack.
Wow.
The packs aren't $5 grand. Like,
Yeah.
He did a really good a really good little move there. It's pretty
So I have to
exciting.
be that guy in saying that, like, if you pulled it from a pack, that's like something you'll never get back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But also $5,000
Stop.
money. So
Stop with the emotions. Sell it and buy Pikachu's. Come on, guys.
Slap the
know the
rock
right thing.
on it, 99-cent auction. Let that baby go.
I gotta take a drink break real quick. I'm gonna throw up the drink refill banner.
Commercial break.
We got tech in the house, guys. Come on, you saw the intro.
Professor Oak, unfortunately, I might have to be calling it on this one.
Yeah.
Although I would like to stay up, I'd probably stay up till 3, but I do gotta
Same.
go spend some time with my girlfriend and get going to bed soon.
It's the weekend. Yeah.
I actually
No
have to
apologies needed.
super early for an electrician to show up at 7 a.m. tomorrow, so not looking forward to that. He chose a terrible time to come change some fans for me, so I'll be doing that. But with all that being said, it was very, very awesome to be here. Great experience. It was great being able to actually be on live and come and meet you guys. Look forward to watching future game shows and trying to get the right answers and see where that goes. Yeah, thank you for having me.
It was nice meeting you as well.
Yeah, hope to. I gotta follow all your channels. I don't go on YouTube that often. Like, I don't post too much. But
now.
I'm gonna try to now. I put up my first YouTube video today. So if you don't know how to sell a Pokemon card, watch the video. But you guys probably all know how to sell a Pokemon card. Kind of trying to tend to more of like I do. Like I said, I do a lot of things with Twitter, like kind of claim sales and things along that line, where there are plenty of people that don't really know what they're doing. They're like, how do you have a claim sale? So eventually I'd like to build up to do, kind of more informational things along that line, where it's for us that, do this on a daily basis. And some of us that have businesses, it's back of the hand type of knowledge. But to someone who's brand new in the hobby, or like, oh, I just made a Twitter account, it could have some play. So Andrew, Java, Oak, it's great meeting you guys.
Yeah,
hope to stay in touch, and we'll be back on future live streams and stuff. So.
Exciting. Thank you so much for joining. That was awesome.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
Enjoy your weekend.
Peace.
Oh, it was so nice. Okay, so I don't know where they're pulling it from. I'm obviously an absolute dingleberry, but I guess we're at 4,500 now. So that makes things very different. If PSA 10 is at 4,500, I was thinking $5,000, get rid, gone, bye, see ya.
Yeah, more than that. Pick a number that seems nice looking to you. That's it. Just maybe like 69 something.
Nice round number, lots of zeros.
Yeah, and again, just sell it on the emojis, man. That's what'll do it.
Or do we auction it?
No, you don't auction it.
You don't auction that. You don't.
I would.
List high by now.
If I was going to, I'd send it to like Rusty to auction or something then, because he would have he could show it on his channel, big buzz around it.
Something to get excited about for sure.
Yeah.
That really is a special card. I mean, I'm not a CGC like huge shiller. Like, I'm not like the guy that's like chasing CGC cards, but like that one is. When I saw him post that video earlier, I was excited for him. Like, that's a really cool thing to like see someone have that happen. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think the Green Shiz would probably buy it for, I don't know.
He's in Cali. He's
maybe
busy.
20K.
He's busy drinking margaritas or something right now. So
lucky him.
Yep. Now just imagine if it was like an amazing rare Kyogre too, though. Pure stonks.
Yep.
That banner is for real. I gotta run real quick. I'll be back in 1 second, all right?
All right.
So now time to shill some CGC cards.
Yes.
PSA is no bueno.
What is that one?
Tropical
Worlds.
Yep, 2009. It's only a 7.5 though. But
hey, still cool.
Yep, we like CGC in this house.
Yeah, I like CGC too.
Yeah. I do think Oak brought up a good point with like consigning with Rusty. I know that Old School also consigns Catch 'em All Collectibles just started an exclusively buy now consignment service, so that's an option. SM Pratt might be able to talk that up for you as well. So explore the consignment options for sure. Not financial advice.
I think DNA posted recently somewhere like the premium you can expect, and then like the fees on the back end for Rusty. Like there's some sort of like percentage premium that he actually gets on a lot of the cards compared to last sales, and then you know, his fee structure and stuff like that. I thought was really interesting because I guess you would assume that someone with that sort of audience and reach would get some sort of premium, but I don't know if it was 7 or 8% or something like that, but it seemed pretty significant.
Yeah, that's substantial.
Which is interesting.
Yep. Have you ever consigned with anybody before Java?
I haven't. I've been trying to build my eBay store, so I just got over the 1,000 feedback mark, which is
congrats, man. That's a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe someday, if the channel's big enough and stuff, people will want to consign with me. But I want to build out the eBay to make sure, you know, got enough feedback for that. Old school would recommend Rusty.
That's advice I would listen to.
Yeah. Old school knows what he's talking about.
Yep. That's insane.
I don't know many CGC collectors who are willing to spend $5,000 on a card that they aren't going to crack. I don't know. I think over the last few months, I think the idea from a lot of people, or the push, has been for people to buy CGC cards with the intent to crack. But I also think a lot of people, for personal collection, even some of the bigger like names in the hobby, have made videos saying that they like the cases and the labels, and they just feel more sturdy and thicker. And for PCs, they would go CGC. So I don't know. I mean, there could be a lot of collectors that like the CGC slab in comparison.
Yeah, so I'll chime in. I'm not grading like Perfect 10 first edition Hollow Dragonites, but I collect Champions Festivals, which are World's promos. Reasonably rare cards. If you know what they are, then you understand what I'm talking about. But I collect specifically staff stamp Champions Festival cards. I'm going for like a complete set, and I just submitted the 4 that I have currently to CGC for my PC. If I ever had to sell them, would they be worth more in PSA plastic? Probably. But personally, I value the service that CGC offers. I like their case. So, and that's strictly from a collecting perspective. These are cards that I have no intention of parting with, and they're high end. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and I think too, with a Perfect 10, unless you plan to cross grade it to a Beckett Black Label, which in that case don't crack it, in my opinion. I think if you crack that card to get a PSA 10, you lose the novelty of being a perfect CGC 10. So I think that's a bad idea in my opinion.
If you don't get the black label.
Yeah. Keep it in the CGC slab regardless. Like, if anything, maybe send it to the black label or to PGS to get the black label. But like, the moment you crack that card out of a CGC slab, there's no novelty. It's just another first edition Dragonite, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I can definitely agree with DNA that your buyer pool, when you hit a certain threshold of like expensiveness when it comes to a card, diminishes, because those whales are looking for PSA cases for their already, you know, substantial collections. So I can definitely see that for sure.
Yep. Yeah, good point, DNA.
Do we all agree that it would sell at $5,000?
Yeah, I think so.
That doesn't seem unrealistic for that card, right?
Yeah.
I don't know prices, but it seems.
I feel like it would snap call, just be gone at that price. But there's a gambler in me, right?
I don't know that it's a gamble.
No, I don't mean that. I mean like, I may be tempted to auction it, honestly.
Oh, that's a gamble, yeah. I don't know. You do you, man. That's what makes you special, right?
Exciting gamble to me.
Yep. I think Lord Pokesmoke brings up a nice point as well, like in response. It might be a niche audience, but you only need one buyer for that sort of card, right? So we kind of like go past the barriers of PSA versus CG2. Yeah, facts. But you go past like the PSA CGC dilemma, and you get into like all other sorts of niche markets like Dragonite collectors, novelty collectors. Like this is effectively a one of one for right now. You know what I'm saying? Like you open up the floodgates to a lot of different potential niche audiences other than just like WotC 10 collectors. So that's something to consider as well. A lot of moving parts here, though. A lot of moving parts.
So thinking to the registries and what I've seen of Gemmen, what I've seen of Jeremy Padua, Rusty, like all these guys with the big heavy hitting sets in the PSA registries, the actual sets that they're collecting are WotC hollows, base set hollows, fossil hollows. Like they're literally dialed down to the best of each thing. That specific card is gonna exactly what you just said. You hit the nail on the head. It's gonna appeal to people that collect fossil cards, people that collect fossil hollows, people that collect fossil 10s, just in general, like any 10, they'll just keep buying. People that collect WotC, people collect WotC 10s. It's going to appeal to people that collect Dragonite, people that collect Dragon Pokemon, people that collect the favorite artist. Like there's a lot of different, there's a scope with that one. And that is the creme de la creme within each part of that scope. That is the top of the top.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be people with money. They're going to throw it at that card. And that's the part that excites me about an auction, is knowing that there's potential for two people within one of those realms to go at it together.
For sure. Nick just said, is that the only perfect 10 WotC hollow? I was wondering that myself, actually.
Poor Father said, where did he say that?
I think he just said yes. He just responded, but now people are saying no.
with CGC. Wait, why did he say yes and then no? I'm going to get him to make a video first.
The only dragon.
I think they're getting confused with what he's asking. It's not the first perfect 10 WotC hollow. It's the first Dragonite hollow fossil perfect 10. It's the first of that exact card to get the CGC perfect 10, which is, I mean, it's incredible. There must have been a bunch sent in by now. I mean, they've been doing it a couple of years. It's got to be a couple of thousand, I would think, probably sent in.
Yep. So at the end of the day, don't auction it. Send it to somebody trustworthy and promote emojis. Looks like he's already using 3 rockets in these comments, so that's a good start, my friend.
Three's for me.
Yep.
Let's do a little mini poem there. 3 is for me. Persian. When did Persian enter the chat? Nick, how did we get to Persian? No one likes Persian. Who likes Persian? Where did Persian come from?
Who's worse, Persian or Galarian Berserker?
Galarian Berserker.
100%.
I agree.
That card is an abomination, or that Pokemon is an abomination.
I'm not
awful. You guys were talking about Trubbish and stuff earlier too. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Green Shiz, you mentioned him earlier. I asked him which Pokemon /S, like singular or plural, which Pokemons would you have as pets if you were in the
Arcanine. Giant fluffy dog that's always warm.
Hell yeah.
Perfect.
That'd be an amazing pet. A little couple of baby Growliths running around.
Yeah.
At Christmas time, get a nice family picture, bottom of the stairs with some nice big fluffy dogs. Perfect. Just that, or is the other Pokemon too? Magikarp Pond, maybe.
But then what if you accidentally get him angry and he turns into a Gyarados?
Fact, yeah. I'll be right back, guys.
That's that might be a problem. I don't know. Arcanine for sure. Is there any other? I mean, I feel like every dog Pokemon starts out cute and then gets angry looking.
Yeah. Go with it. They've all got it within them. I feel like Eevee is the cheat code there. That seems so obvious.
Just keep Eevee, and that would be that'd be perfect. Yeah. You'd have a Bonsley? Marty the Martian would have a Bonsley. Isn't that just like a little tree Pokemon with balls on his head? Oh, it is.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I was picturing it in my head just then. Phil says Eevee. He's on the Eevee train. I think I'd probably have to have at least one Eevee.
Is this card real? I gotta send you a card, Oak. Bonsley has a butthole.
No.
Yeah.
Sort of Woodoo.
Hold on.
What sort of Woodoo do? I don't know. You know what I would like? Here's the tipping point for me with a pet Pokemon.
Look at that.
Is it wouldn't be a pet, right? It'd have a task. Yeah, something's going on right there. I don't know about those droplets too. We got a little bit NSFW in the Discord just there.
That was an unfortunate.
I forgot what I was saying. That threw me off so much. What was I talking about?
Sorry, I don't know.
I forgot what I was talking about.
Something about a task Pokemon.
Oh yeah. So it'd have to be purposeful. Like I feel like if I'm gonna have something that like has powers, like literal powers, I've got to pick something that's gonna do something. So maybe one with fire that could like heat the house for free, or one with water that could supply water to the house for free, or so, I don't know, some like purpose to it. Andrew, which pet?
I got this. Yeah. So Dragonite is the Pokemon you're thinking of. He can fly. He can learn Surf. He can throw Flamethrower and Fire Blast. So he covers pretty much all the bases. He's friendly, so he'll be cool with the kids. He'll deliver your mail for you, potentially pick it up as well. So I think that Dragonite is the number one pet Pokemon, except he'll eat a lot. So there's that.
I feel like it's probably strong too, right? You could probably get him to fix things and
he will battle your rival. That's for sure. So he's got it all.
Your average player did say Machamp, and now thinking about it, he could carry in all the groceries for you. You wouldn't have to have like 8 bags on 2 arms because you don't want to go back for more. He has 4 arms. He can carry as many bags as he wants.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not buying it much. I think Machamp is not as strong as he seems.
Drainage hole.
It's all for show. It's just all for show. Yeah.
I would like to arm wrestle a Machamp.
Would you just arm wrestle one arm or?
Give me all.
Give me all of them. All the arms.
Give me all of them.
Machamp is the most human Pokemon, right? I would probably say it's probably the one that looks the most human out of all of them.
Or Machoke.
Or Jinx.
Jinx. Maybe Mr. Mime slightly in a certain way, but Machamp for me feels the most human. And
we all know that Mr. Mime had relations with Ash's mom, so just,
Delia.
Yeah. Learned that last week.
Hashtag never forget. Yeah, you'll never.
I did not know that.
Delia again.
Machamp could put old school's carts away at the grocery store.
Going back to some past humor. I love it. Pokesmoke with the lols tonight. He's killing it. If you care. Yamper.
Yamper's cute. It might shock you though, which would.
You know what Yamper reminds me of is the Queen, R.I.P. I need to address that.
Oh, a corgi. Yeah.
A corgi. Yeah, the Queen's corgis. Squirvet. Like Squirvet.
It's a squirrel, right?
Bondo, kind of, yeah. Who's choosing Jinx? Bondo was wearing a t-shirt with a red bird on it tonight, and I kept thinking of that little picky peck one
Mm.
with the little red
Yeah.
stripe on its head. And I'm inclined to think a little bird Pokemon could be good because of some of the reasons you were just saying, Andrew. Would it be able to like fly and like have different, abilities and stuff? I feel like a little bird Pokemon would be potential to train how to talk. I think there's potential there more so than other Pokemon, just because in the animal world, birds are more likely to be able to talk than other animals. And then they could carry stuff and probably jack some shit up too with their sharp beaks, especially piggyback. I don't know. I haven't thought about it too much. I don't know.
DNA also said Alakazam, which he could just teleport you everywhere you wanted to go, which would be pretty.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Teleportation.
Jirachi, Garniani. All right, now again, deep. Jeez, I didn't know this was
true. Can Jirachi grant any wish or just one wish? I don't know anything about him.
I don't know. You could also just go with like Bidoof, something that's gonna like you have it around and it doesn't do much, but it makes you feel better about yourself when you look at it.
I think multiple. I don't think we need to stop at one. I think we could have a Bidoof. I think we could have a bird. I think we could have a Dragonite.
Mm-hmm.
I think Miltank that we talked on earlier would be good because Miltank would like cut your grass for you. You'd never have to cut grass again. And in Florida, it's hot as balls out there. Like it's not fun cutting your grass in Florida. So you could keep on top of that. And then when he gets sick, you could eat him. Like,
whoa, man.
Like you got deep freezer, do the cross cut, get some loin from the old Miltank, and you got dinner for a little while there.
Just an endless supply of milk as well.
Milk, moo milk. You guys, see, we're on it. We got this down. We got this pet conversation good. Bidoof, also literally God. Arceus, literally God, as your pet. Yeah,
I looked up recently because I know Bidoof like became a meme for a while. That Bidoof is God basically, and I was like, oh, where did that come from? And the first thing that comes up is the reason Bidoof became such a big meme is that he ironically doesn't ever stop being useless, but not in the way you might be assuming. It's a Pokemon of irony. So ugly, it's adorable. So weak, yet so powerful. It's even used in an April Fool's prank. It's like, that is a Pokedex entry if I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Dang. That's harsh.
I was thinking about this like a while ago, and I think that I may have like accidentally become one of the biggest Bidoof collectors in the world. So like this card I showed earlier, the Tropical Wind, this is definitely the rarest Bidoof card, period. And then the 2013 Champions Festival also features Bidoof. Got that one. So I'm just like one special delivery away from having the trifecta of like Bidoofs.
Nice.
And that in itself, I think, embodies the creature. Completely ironic, accidental collection. Special delivery Bidoof learns fly.
Okay, so another question. I like that we're talking about Pokemon like it's real life. Mm-hmm. There's been like conversations before in the real world on what is the most of an animal. I think in the real world it's ants. There's probably more ants than any other animal. Like when you think about the jungles and all the nests and whatever. Florida, absolutely mosquitoes for sure, without a doubt. If Pokemon were real and there wasn't animals, what would be the most like the highest volume of Pokemon? Maybe like a Rattata or like something like first gen springs to mind, or a Pidgey like or something. A Weedle. I kind of think Magikarp though, because they don't say that Magikarp's freshwater only. It's in saltwater and freshwater, which they don't address in anime. No one's ever talked about before.
Big brain.
Yeah, there is an ant Pokemon.
Durant. Yeah, I'm thinking like Cutiefly or like Rabombi. Like they're both very small. Like small insects, so they could actually like kind of, you could buy into the fact that there could be like hordes of them because they're small. Like I think Durant has a couple tall. You know what I mean? Like that would be frightening. Imagine a swarm of bee drills in real life. Like they're like 4 feet long. Like,
Nope.
I don't want that.
End of the world. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a
yeah,
house.
like
Yeah.
I agree with Marty.
Shotgun.
If we go by in terms of how many encounters you have actually in game, Zubat probably takes the game.
Yep.
Fuck Zubat.
I hate Zubat so much.
Fuck Zubat.
Even when they came out with Crobat is awesome, especially in games. He's so good, but like I just hate Zubat too much to ever get to Crobat. Can't do it.
Well, it's like a diamond in the rough, right? Like you can get Crobat, and there's so many endless possibilities. Like great Pokemon, even in the TCG, right? But you have to catch a Zubat at some point. So is that really a moral bridge that you're willing to cross?
No, not for me. Yeah, Beedrill's huge too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right.
That would be like so loud as well. Not even just a visual. Like, can you imagine hearing those motherfuckers flying around in a swarm? Jesus Christ.
Dude, I think it was Yanma. You know Yanma, the little dragonfly Pokemon? I think its Pokédex entry says something about how like its wings go so fast that it like shatters windows when it flies by.
Jeez.
Like how impractical. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing would be safe if Gen 2 Pokemon were real because a bug would destroy your windows. Those things are not cheap, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, Mr. Man would be doing a lot of chores, fixing things.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, and then you think about like there's like Centiscorchers like running around the planet. like some of these just like crazy, just huge, massive, like ridiculous Pokemon just like cruising around, smashing stuff up, eating things.
Have you guys seen the PokeTunes shorts? Okay, check those things out. I think the Pokemon Company just put those on their like official YouTube channel or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, they are legit. There's one called I think it's like Blossom's Dream or Blossom something or another. But it's basically the story of this girl who like wants to become a Pokemon trainer, and I won't like spoil it or whatever, but like she ends up having to convince her parents to allow her to become a Pokemon trainer by like getting a Pokemon to commit to being her partner or whatever. And it's just like the coolest thing. And that is exactly how I imagine real life Pokemon to be. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't know. That's a good one. I recommend that to anybody who has not seen it yet. Very good.
Yeah, I loved when they made that. Is it Pokemon Origins? Was what it was called? The short of like Red's journey and everything from start to finish. That was super cool when they did that. It felt like more of a nostalgic adult take on the show, and not just Ash running around, yelling, and Team Rocket coming in every episode. It was like felt like a legitimate anime almost.
Yep.
Story, emotion, journey. Yeah, there was like all different aspects to it. Yeah, for sure. What do you think the type would be that dominates? Like, my head goes to psychic in real life.
Yeah.
For some reason, they seem like less powerful in the game than what they should really be. I feel like if you got psychic powers, you could like take over anything.
Psychic really was crushing things when it was Gen 1, when Gen 1 was like the only generation, like Alakazam was so overpowered in Red and
Mewtwo was
crazy. Mewtwo was a madman, like the only thing that was super effective against Alakazam or Mewtwo is Gengar, but Gengar's has ×4 weakness to any psychic attack because it's poison and goes. So Psychic was super OP for a while, and then I think like Dragon became really tough for a while too until they nerfed that with Fairy and made Steel relevant. Yeah, I mean, hard to say.
How do you feel? Do you guys play the current, or have you played the current Pokemon games like Legends Arceus and Sword and Shield and them?
I haven't played in a couple of years actually. I haven't played anything super recent. My personal thoughts is that I almost feel like they're testing things every year. They're putting out a new game to like test out a different feature. And then hopefully eventually they'll take all of the good features from all of these tests and put them into one main game.
But it does feel like they're just pumping out games way too fast. Like these games need a couple years, and they need some, like, I don't want to be that guy, but like 2022, the graphics, no voice acting, like what?
That's crazy.
On a mainline system, like update them a little bit.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit before the stream started. Like I was mentioning that I bought Pokken because I was watching it on like the Worlds event or whatever. But that game is no longer supported by the Pokemon Company in terms of like organized play or whatever. That game's like battle components paired with Legends Arceus's like open map concept, that would be the game that everybody wants. You know, you're exploring and catching Pokemon as a trainer, but when the battle starts, you're fighting as the Pokemon. It's not just like button clicking one turn after another. And they started to bridge that gap with Arceus with like Rapid Strike. You can get like 2 turns in a row. But I really think that the one missing piece is that like Pokken style component to the battle mechanic. Like I want to be Charizard battling Venusaur or whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to be in charge of that fight.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
At least the ability to choose if you want to do that. Like have that.
That would be.
Do you want first person, third person? Do you want to be the trainer? Do you want to be the Pokemon? Like more like dynamics within it, like more fluidity, or like what do you want to do, where you want to go, that kind of stuff. Because that stuff ain't rocket science. Like that's not unrealistic. You look at God of War, you look at Red Dead, you look at GTA, like there's the possibilities are there. Like it's not that difficult when you have billions of dollars to throw us at something every year. Like, yeah, I mean it's there.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I feel like let's see, what did Mason say? Doesn't have to be mature, just fleshed out and high. Yeah, I mean, if Legends Arceus had come out and looked like Breath of the Wild, that came out, what, 3 or 4 years before that game came out? Like, that would have been awesome. And they can easily do that. I mean, they have, I mean, maybe they don't have the developing talent to do that. I don't like the idea of just, they have so much money, like they can do that, because it's not all about money. But at the same time, it's like, they do have a lot of money, and they probably could make a game that looks that good.
Yeah, I almost wonder, it makes me wonder if Arceus was kind of rushed in that sense. Like, I don't know exactly what like the back end of developing that game was, but it didn't really appear as though the graphics changed a whole lot from like the initial teaser to the release of the game.
No.
And that was like definitely a lot of time to be tweaking those sorts of fine details, in my opinion. Yeah.
And it was their first foray into like a completely open world game. So there can be a little bit of like leeway, but I would just hope that this new game coming out looks a lot better, has less pop in of characters and stuff. And I'm just not sure that it will. There's just not enough time in between games.
Yeah. It didn't look too crazy different from the trailer. If you're talking about Scarlet Violet, like there wasn't anything like outstandingly like, oh, they really kicked it up a notch. Like I didn't get that sense at all.
Big Sword and Shield vibes for sure in terms of like the graphics and designs. But so someone mentioned earlier like about the voiceovers, how they're long overdue, and we definitely have the technology for that. Just as like a point of reference, so after watching the Pokken tournament, I bought a pre-owned copy of that game. That game utilizes like Mega Evolution, so I'm assuming it came out around like the XY era. There are character voiceovers in that game. So like the Pokemon Company has overseen games that utilize the voiceover feature. They just have not started implementing them into like the mainstream ones.
I think Legends Arceus had some in the cutscenes occasionally, because I remember being kind of surprised by it, but then it would just kind of disappear. After more text came, it was like, all right, we're ditching the voiceover now, and you're just reading again.
Yeah. But I don't, and I don't want to like sound like I'm complaining too much. Like I only offer like I think I speak for maybe your guys' opinions too, or maybe not. But like I think we're offering critiques just because we like the company and the games. Like I still think that Arceus was probably one of the at least top 3 games ever released. It was definitely the #1 most innovative game that the Pokemon Company's ever released, and I played through it twice. So like I don't know. I think it compared to something like Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, orders of magnitude better than those games. You know what I'm saying? So they are doing things to improve themselves. And obviously there'll always be things that they can improve. But hopefully they just kind of like listen to feedback from their consumers and make the right adjustments.
So tell me why 6 years later Pokemon Go is still so basic.
Is that facilitated by the Pokemon company or Niantic separately?
I mean, I'm sure they have a say in it, that the IP or whatever, but I feel like
potentially
they could have done so much more with that. But again, you know, that game night last week, they've made billions from it. So it's something's obviously working. Maybe it's the simplicity of it that is the key.
Maybe,
maybe
I'm just spoiled because I want fancy games, you know. I don't know.
It's all those lures you have to buy to get the Pokemon to show up.
You know, eventually we're going to get a VR Pokemon game. And so maybe it'll be really interesting to see if like the mainline Pokemon games take charge in that, or Pokemon Go takes the lead in the VR style games. Because that, to Oak's point, like that could be Pokemon Go's opportunity to kind of like up themselves in terms of like gameplay quality. But at the same time, I think it would make a lot more money by having a main series game facilitated through like a VR system. So I don't know, kind of a catch-22. What do you guys think about that?
I mean, in Go, you have the augmented reality, they call it. It's not augmented reality, but augmented reality placement of Pokemon and, you know, throwing the ball and stuff. Like, they're already stepping their toes in the right direction of taking it to that next level. I think it's way too far. When I look at, like, you know, Legends Arceus, for instance, from what I've seen of it, the videos and the gameplay I've watched, I haven't played it myself, but I've watched a lot of it. It seems like light years away from that, honestly. I think Pokemon Go is probably closer.
I think VR is... I've had a couple VR headsets, and it's just... There are very few actual video games on the VR systems. There are arcade games on the VR stuff, which are super fun. Like Beat Saber is one of my favorite games. That game is so much fun.
Is that where you hit the color as it comes at you?
Hit the blocks as they come in that rhythm game.
Yeah.
But like in terms of actual like full length video games, there was like a Half-Life Alyx that came out. And there's a couple other ones, but it's just not there yet, or the big developers are not willing to take the risk on developing something for that medium yet. I don't know. But yeah, I do think it's the games, either the games or a movie series or something that I feel like those are the two avenues outside of the trading card game that could boost the trading card game again. In some way. I don't really think that something related to the cards could give a massive boost again to the card game. I feel like it would have to come from like one of the accessory, products that they make. Kind of like with Pokemon Go. Because I don't think anyone selling a super rare card or opening a super rare box like that, it's kind of already been said and done, and it's happened after that initial one, and it's never as cool as it was the first time. And how much more could you really do within the confines of the card game to create another like big boom?
Yeah,
like be outside of it.
There's always a counterpoint, right? There's always something more to think of and more to consider. There's like always a bigger picture than what you first thought of. And another part of that, something I didn't even think about, is what Mason just said. Coming back to when we're talking about voice acting, they want us to be the voice actor, like us to be the player, that would be the voice actor normally. I think it's right. I'm inclined to align with that in some levels. I think there is probably an aspect of there's no other noise. Like, you're the one that's doing this. You're the one that's following it, and the computer game is talking to you. I think I like the idea of maybe other people talking and it being like movie style, like story style kind of thing. I don't know. What do you guys think? on that.
There's lots of RPGs that take that approach, like Skyrim. Like your character never talks; you're just kind of there watching the story, but then playing through the different. But to me, like when you play Breath of the Wild, for instance, like every other character is voice acted to a certain extent, and then you just have Link standing there like blank stare, just looking at the like he's barely even emoting to what they're saying and stuff. And it's like, I know that I'm supposed to be the character, but I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, I want the story to unfold in front of me, and that includes a well-written like main protagonist. But I can see why people would want to just place themselves into like a stock sort of character, and then kind of take that and blank slate in, like put themselves and role play into the world themselves.
Yeah. I think too, like there are manga for each generation of Pokemon. Maybe not every generation, but like, okay, during like the lockdown or whatever, I ordered the box set of like the Gold and Silver manga, and like Gold and Silver are characters. So when you're playing through Gold and Silver or Heart Gold and Soul Silver, there are like personalities that are connected to those people. You know what I'm saying? So like you can suspend disbelief and pretend that you are the actual player, or you can actually go with like the characters provided by the Pokemon company. Like they've made the efforts to create these characters, given them personalities. So we could add voiceovers. I don't know. Like it's just yeah, whatever. But yeah,
I mean, I love God of War, and like there's no silence there. Like all the characters and all the different people in the story, it's like you're playing a movie as you go along through each section of it. Like I was captivated playing that game, absolutely just enthralled by every aspect of it. I thought it was fantastic. The director, I watched an interview. It was, they were talking with the director, and he was giving feedback on some of the struggles they had in development and like working through ideas, and the teamwork they had to like sit and brainstorm and work through. And this idea didn't work out, so they went with this type of story, and then they did this, and went with that. And the whole thing of just like, you could just tell there was so much effort and love put into that game. Like people literally devoted 8 hours every single day for months and months and months of their life, devoted very large portion of their life to making that game for me to sit and enjoy. Like that's a really cool thing. I don't get that feeling with Pokemon games. I don't get that feeling of people have literally sat and devoted a section of their life to bring me enjoyment. I've never felt that about a Pokemon game since Crystal.
I think that actually speaks about like that was a really good point there. People like it when they can tell that they are like receiving a product of effort, or like some kind of like, it's like sweat equity, right? Like people enjoy when, okay, I'm having like a brain stew moment right now, but like, okay,
sweat equity, that's it.
Yes, you like people like it when people do things that show they care for others, right? Like that makes you feel appreciated. And so it's no different, even though we're talking about video games, which is a lot more arbitrary than like meeting someone's basic needs for life or whatever. But yeah, like at the end of the day, like Pokemon not meeting these basic milestones, it's almost like they're kind of half-assing it to some extent, and that doesn't feel good. So that was my overarching point.
I mean, when you don't see significant improvements from main installation, it starts to feel like Madden, where it's like you just build a roster with more Pokemon, and it's the same graphics you've seen in the last 2 games, and it's just a new Pokemon. So yeah, I agree with you.
I'm really hoping that's not what Scarlet and Violet turns into, but we have the addition of motorcycles now, so that's a whole possibility.
There is a couple of cool things.
Just take the hats off. Like, make them crystal cool looking. Take the stupid hat off, please. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out. That's going to be odd, but they have made effort in a couple of other little bits. On that, the first trailer that they did when it was that YouTube video you guys saw, it did seem like they had made efforts in other areas, but the look of it still felt very Pokemon game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Felt like
Just
it looked
it
like a
safe.
Pokemon game.
Yeah. Speaking of the gimmick, I don't know that I've heard anyone like just kind of give their brutal, honest opinion on like the whole like crystal like headdress thing going on. Think about VMAXs though. From Sword and Shield base set to like Vivid Voltage,
Yeah.
VMAX was the chase, right? Barring amazing rares. But VMAX was like the new thing. And so people were wanting VMAX cards. Look back at the Darkness Ablaze Charizard. It was the first Charizard that we had received in the Sword and Shield Black, but it was also the new gimmick, the VMAX. And that card was selling on release for over $100. Now we look at VMAXs at the end of Sword and Shield block is like we scoff at them. Like it's not a pull that makes you feel good, like a flat VMAX, you know? So I guess like a word of caution to people who are going to be opening up like the sets when Scarlet and Violet come out, like whatever like crazy headdress things only come 2 per booster box. Towards the end of the Scarlet and Violet block, those will no longer be the chase cards. And so maybe don't go too hard in the paint on those for sure. But
Yeah. It's an interesting. I've always been like, I think megas. I know that megas were super broken in like difference in design.
I think we lost you for a second then.
My back.
Back.
Can you hear me?
Golden.
Yep, all good.
Yeah, I think megas in terms of design, just because they actually put in the effort to like change what the Pokemon looked like, change types in some cases like Charizard, stuff like that. That was super cool.
Yeah.
And then just kind of like the Z moves in Sun and Moon were like, okay, they were fine. They were interesting. They were whatever. And then they went to VMAX, and VMAX was like, okay, you just made the Pokemon bigger.
Yep.
And then Gigantamax, though, was kind of cool because they actually did change some design. They made them big and they changed the design.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then this one is just like what we've seen so far. It looks really cool to make the Pokemon crystallize like that and to change their type almost like Delta Species. Like that's really interesting. But the idea of like, why does the thing on the head just doesn't? I can't imagine Charizard having a chandelier on his forehead in like an alternate art. Like it's got to be something different.
I feel like there's something we don't know. It feels like there's something missing that they haven't let on to, and they haven't. I don't know what it is. Something feels like it's like not connecting with that whole thing.
Yeah. So like maybe this isn't like the end all be all, right? Like maybe like in the Dynamax Gigantamax comparison, maybe this is just the Dynamax and we haven't got the Gigantamax yet. And to Mason Berry's point, Megas were hated at the time. Fact. Gigantamax was hated at the time, but here's my caveat to that. So my whole point in bringing up the VMAX Charizard from Darkness Ablaze was that was the chase card that we had at the time. But the gimmick, the Dynamax, that opened up the floodgates for the opportunity of alt arts for this generation specifically. If you ever held like an alt art V versus a V Max, obviously Mason, I'm not speaking to you specifically because you have, but like they look dramatically different. Although the art themselves may be really cool on both, the hollow effect on a VMAX is way cooler. It's very clear that those are marketed to be like the number one chase card to collectors or consumers at large. So it could very well be the case that like these like Terra types are not going to be the end all be all. There could be something above them, to your point, Oak. But also this gimmick is certainly going to lead to some kind of like chase within the Pokemon card aspect of things, similar to how the alt art was utilized in Sword and Shield. So I don't know.
I don't think we have all the cards on display. Like reference back to poker there, but like I don't think everything's on the table right now. Like it definitely seems like I feel like there's something I don't know. Like there's still like something I'm waiting to like come out, or like it's hidden behind a curtain or whatever, and we're still far away. I mean, we're months away from it, but I kind of like that feeling that there's, you know, that there's something new to discover there. The other part of it, you were talking just then about the look of it and the hollow and stuff. Specifically, when we go back to Pokemon cards, you can really tell when they've put effort into like the design of the hollow and the, you know, the pattern and the physical structure of, you know, how they design that aspect of it. I still really think they're going to do something new in this new generation with the hollow physically. And I've asked a couple of people on live streams if they think maybe like lenticular style could come back, not necessarily with the playing cards, but maybe like in the next couple of years, top style, like action flip style, like maybe some special cards, metal card. I mean, they're doing metal cards now. That's Pokemon doing metal. That doesn't mean that lenticular is off the table as far as I'm concerned. If they're doing metal stuff, like I'm curious what you guys think, if they're going to start playing with some other different physicalities of cards outside of regular set cards.
I'm not sure. I think in terms of like the hollows and the creativeness around that, I feel like the obvious play is to do the shattered ice or the cracked ice with the terrestrial form, them just looking crystallized basically, and then that basically looking like, you know, like a crystallized hollow pattern, I think. But I don't know. I feel like the metal cards have been interesting, but from like a secondary market perspective, is they've been a pain in the butt. So I don't know if they would continue those or not, but I think they're cool for collectors if they're unique, but I don't know.
What about with the Terra, you know, glass style shining or light version, where it's like a bright shining, like literally like a light glass, like a glowing glass look, kind of thing.
So I'm thinking like maybe ghost rares, right? Like if you I don't know if you guys are into Yu-Gi-Oh at all, but like ghost rares, I don't have one nearby, but like they are essentially like a mirror hollow, but if you get them in the right light, you can actually see like a gray and black version of the artwork, right? Very hard to pull in Yu-Gi-Oh, but like that could be something that kind of accommodates this whole like Terra type hollow. If you watch like the obnoxious live stream of Jake and Dan's, they pulled those Harry Potter cards that were like ghost rares as well, so that's similar. I don't know. I mean, we've seen a lot of things like Topps experimented with like die cut cards and stuff like that, where they physically altered the shape and the physical properties of the card. And then we've also seen like aesthetic adjustments in terms of like art style, texture, different hollow patterns. I'm sure that they're not going to just copy paste the same Sword and Shield layout. Obviously, like we're looking at brand new card layouts, brand new hollow patterns, and probably new texture patterns as well. I don't really know what is going to best suit these Terra types, but ghost rares kind of come to mind. Yeah.
I just remembered the fire red leaf green EXs. Since we're going back to EXs, but the fire red leaf green Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres, the ones that basically have the cracked ice pattern all across the card. That would be very, I guess, fitting to that idea as well of the crystal, kind of the crystal looking format.
Dragon Shiz, is that his name? He's saying that ghost rares are kind
Dragon Shiz.
Nah, not happening.
Yeah, Dragon Ship is in the house, and yeah, I don't think he's into ghost rares. It's that simple.
I think ghost rares, yeah, like with what Mason's saying, I guess, it's kind of reminiscent, I feel like, of the rainbows, where if you hold like two ghost rares out in front of you, you probably wouldn't be able to, like, you have to look at them from a certain light. Well, I think that's cool. Like, I actually like the rainbow rares, but I feel like people would have the same sort of sentiment about, I can't tell which Pokemon that is without, looking at it.
Think about how much Pokemon people like mystery boxes. It's like a mystery card, right? So it's like a mystery box within a card. I don't know. That's
Oh, I
my
can't talk.
desperate
Ooh,
last
it's
attempt. But yeah, like, who's that Pokemon? You know.
Do you guys think they would do clear cut cards in a set?
Are you talking about like similar to what they did with Tops, where it's like
Way
translucent,
back? Yeah.
but then inked on one part? Yeah, I hope not. I didn't like those much, but possibly.
Have to be plastic. I don't think it worked with any kind of paper product. But I'm just trying to think of like. I feel like they're gonna do something different physically in this new set. So I just feel like they're gonna push the boundaries in this next set, but just because they've got so much to fight for after all this hype this past year or two. I feel like there's just so much riding on this new generation.
I've been looking into Full Metal Alchemist recently. They had an English TCG a while ago, but they did they're called transmutation cards, but they are apart from
like Full Metal Alchemist
text and the picture, it's completely clear on the card.
That's cool.
Even the color's clear though, right? Translucent, whatever you'd call it. Like light can go through even the color.
Yeah, yep. Not as much as the rest of the card, but yeah. It's interesting.
That'd make for some cool display opportunities because you could like set a background and kind of like vary the appearance of the card or whatever, you know, based on the background that you give it. But I don't know. I think my go-to thing is like, so they take one card and they cut it up into various shapes and they make those shapes, the pieces of the card that were cut up, those are each serialized, right? So there's like a 1 of 5, but it's just from one only card. And when you have to spend thousands of dollars to collect all the little pieces of the card, and then when you put them all together, it says collect vintage instead.
There you go. Perfect.
So
somebody called Jake.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it.
So outside of cards, outside of games, what do you think else there is for Pokemon? Because you go on eBay and you can do the minus sign and take out cards and take out games or whatever, and there's still a million other things out there in the Pokemon universe right now. Are they too strong to fail? I know that's a heavy topic that people have kind of touched on and tapped on right now, but like I got a lot of stuff that isn't cards, like a lot of stuff that's not cards and it's Pokemon related. And I don't want to show some stuff because I bought some stuff as a gift for someone, but I got some stuff that like it's just like so far away. I mean, there you go.
This is like old Worlds merchandise.
Hawaii Worlds.
I just spent a good amount of money just on hats and plushies and deck box cases and a Worlds coin that's sealed. Like, I think that we have not yet seen the day come where like historic memorabilia is as sought after as it should be. And so I think that that's a whole other market, right? Like memorabilia will be a thing, especially from like these super, you know, historic events like Worlds and stuff like that. So yeah,
I know vintage clothing is huge, like old bands and old like I don't know, t-shirts of old movies and just stuff that is from the given eras. Like that's really big outside of Pokemon, and I can imagine those things getting, those are super cool.
Yeah,
I can imagine those things. I just feel like our hobby is still really young.
Yeah, I agree.
And a lot of the stuff that we're talking about now might not even make sense now, but will make sense in like 25 years when we're 50 years into Pokemon and it's aged like the other hobbies have.
Do you think there's too much?
I tend to agree.
Do you think there might be too much scope there? Like if you think about Magic the Gathering, you know what you're looking for, right? If you go for Funko Pops, you know what you're looking for. You search Pokemon. I mean, I could think of a million different directions you could go with Pokemon. Clothing, waffle irons, cards, movies, magazines, airplanes, like literally everything has a Pokemon on it.
Yeah.
Everything you can think of. It does feel a little bit like, is there maybe too much going on there where like you don't have any kind of definition? I don't know what the word would be, but
it's like overwhelmed, like too many things to collect, right? Is that what you're trying to say? Oh,
just too many things to consume, just
Yeah.
in general. Yeah, I mean, just the shows alone, like it'd take you months and months to watch all the TV shows and movies.
Someone really smart was talking recently about like Pokemon's whole brand identity is the fact that there's a Pokemon for everyone, right? And so there's a collectible for everyone too. And think about, like, I'm thinking immediately what comes to mind is like thinking back to 2020, like Scalper Mania, like if you can't get the cards, you can probably get the t-shirts, right? So there's always something to go after so that you can wet your Pokemon whistle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Everything.
When
There's everything.
When and Oak, you could probably talk this better than me because I don't have kids, but I feel like when kids are attached to something, like they really get into that one thing and they want everything around them to be that one thing. So like Pokemon bedrooms, I'm sure is just like wallpaper, sheets, bedding, just everything under the sun, Pokemon or Hello Kitty or, any of that sort of, you need all that merchandise to fill those rooms.
Java, did you have the Pokemon comforter back in the day with the original 151 on it?
No, I didn't. I was the only wallpaper I remember having is dinosaurs. I had like a dinosaur wallpaper in my room when I was really young. I think that was before I was into Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I did have the Pokemon. You guys might even have it still, but the board game, the trainer board game that had the little discs of all the 151 Pokemon. It was I don't know. It was interesting. I think I bought one recently, but it doesn't have all the chips, unfortunately.
What's that called? Is it called like Master Battle or something?
It's got a name. Master Trainer, Pokemon Master Trainer, or something like that. Yeah.
I've seen it. I don't think I owned one. I had like weird little things that whatever I could find in my little hometown in the middle of England. Like I didn't have the options that like most people had, I guess. What I would have done for a Pokemon comforter as a kid, I would have probably sold my grandma to like get one of those. Like for real, I would have probably done that.
Yep. It's just like a risk versus reward, right? Grandma versus comforter.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a time where I would carry around a notebook with me because I was really into the Pokemon anime, and I would basically write my own story of myself doing my like Ash's journey. So we would be like over at my parents' friend's house. The other kids are playing, and I'm sitting on the couch like writing more in my little storybook of my Pokemon journey, like what Pokemon I would catch and stuff like that.
That's next level.
Yeah. That's really cool, man. Like me and my friends, we just ran around our neighborhood pretending to throw Pokeballs out, looking like idiots for years. Like at least you maintained your social status by writing a notebook.
Yeah, you were definitely the smarter out of between you and I. Yeah.
Well,
that's really cool. I'm trying to imagine what I would have written. Do you remember it? Do you still have it? Do you remember like the kind of things you were saying?
No, I think it was probably very close to just writing down from my perspective the thing I just watched in the anime. I don't think I was very creative about it.
That must have been so cool though. Just like you literally picturing that happening and then like writing about it, just designing it in your head. that happening. Yeah, that's pretty cool thought.
I wish I still had it. That would be a funny thing to read, probably.
Might make a good video.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever try to design your own Pokemon when you were growing up? Like draw pictures of them and stuff?
Probably. Nothing I remember. But
I feel like I did.
Yeah.
I seem to remember it happening. I seem to remember talking about like characteristics, like what would I want it to do more than the physicality, but like more like what would I want it to do or be like or act like or whatever.
So here's my galaxy brain idea of the night, right? So there used to be this, it wasn't Toonami. It was like after Toonami was a thing, but it was earlier in the day, like on Cartoon Network. Are you guys following me? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be, I remember specifically, there was this show called Code Lyoko that was on in the afternoons. And I might be a little bit younger than you guys, but it was on after school for a little while.
You're definitely younger than me.
Okay. But like, it was similar to Toonami, but they used to have these little like alien type creatures floating around. And Cartoon Network or Toonami, whatever, they hosted this event where viewers, kids essentially, could design a character and they would actually render it to be part of like the new like little filler series that was Toonami.
Wow.
Why like Pokemon could allow consumers to design a Pokemon and like the coolest Pokemon gets, to exist. That's something that has never happened before, but it seems like such an obvious low-hanging fruit.
Yeah, I've never seen this before. I just Googled it and it looks cool. They had a Nintendo DS game and a Wii game even. They got pretty into it, I guess. Must have been not on my radar. I don't know, but that sounds like a fantastic idea.
Yeah, and especially like you've got to think like, all right, here we are around Gen 5. Like we start making inanimate objects into Pokemon, running out of ideas clearly. There's a lot of creative people in the world. Like let's start sourcing this in. Let's start sourcing ideas from third parties, right? Like get fans involved. What's your Pokemon design? Let's see it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with your average player about they should have done another Snap contest with the new game. That seemed like a missed opportunity.
Yes, big time.
What I thought would be cool for Pokemon Go, I made a video about this before I knew what was in the set, but I thought it'd be cool if they took submissions from people using the augmented reality and taking screenshots of them catching Pokemon in certain places. So like I caught Pikachu at the Eiffel Tower or whatever, and you have like the real life image of the Pokemon there being caught, and then taking those submissions and making the Pokemon Go set out of it. But instead they just did what they did, which ended up being fine anyway, but it would have been an interesting thing.
Yeah. I feel like we will have to start saying some positive things about Pokemon because I know we're big fans, but yeah, like
I mean,
Pokemon Go set was ace. But yeah, you know what's really cool? Like here's optimism. Even if the Pokemon company doesn't come up with these ideas, somebody will eventually. Like a family friend got me this thing. It's like a little coaster with a Scyther card inside. I think it's just like a resin pour or whatever. Yeah. But like, hey, the Pokemon company's not yet making coasters, but somebody's fulfilling that demand. So a lot of times, like when you have a big company, like obviously nobody or no entity is perfect, right? So like it's cool that there are still third parties that will kind of fulfill the demand where needed, I guess. I don't know. That's my optimistic take. What do you guys think? What's some happy stuff you want to talk about?
I think they're in so many things that I want. Like they're just touching so many things already. And I like that. Like I could just jump on eBay or jump on the internet or whatever and just buy whatever I want with Pokemon Team. But also I kind of like the not everybody's into Pokemon. Like people make a lot of assumptions that it's going to carry on growing, it's going to get bigger and more people are going to get roped into it, like sports cards and stuff. And I don't think it's an ego thing. I think I just like that it feels like it's my thing to me. Like like all my friends aren't doing it. Like my wife isn't into it. my kids, like, not everyone is into it the same way I am, and there's an element of that of like it feels like it's not like appealing to everyone. I don't know how to describe that. And I think if they tried so hard to appeal to everyone, it wouldn't feel the same. It wouldn't be the same thing. I think that's a really good thing that Pokemon does, is they're not trying to get everyone in the world to buy Pokemon. I don't think. I mean, there might be. I don't. I'm not in their boardroom meetings, but there's a lot of people that have zero clue about Pokemon, and that's Pokemon's fault or Pokemon strategy. I don't know.
Yeah. I think for a long time I used to be super negative on the fact that I felt like the games and like Pokemon in general wasn't following my trajectory in terms of my age and like maturing with me and feeling like it's not being made for me anymore. But I think when I started getting back into the cards and looking at like future like Pokemon staying relevant and all that, it's like I now appreciate the fact that they focus so much on just being kind of really tailored to kids. I do think that they could take more of a Disney route where like you watch a Disney movie as an adult, you can get a lot out of a Disney movie, and a kid can also get a lot out of that movie too. Like it's kind of made for both because they know that the parents have to sit there with the kids. And it kind of
just did before this. I just watched that new Pinocchio with my kid and my wife right before this stream, and it was brilliant. There was adult jokes in there, just FYI. Like, absolutely. I 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they would lean into that a little bit, just because their brand is 25 years old. That means that people who started with them are in their 30s now, and I think the Detective Pikachu did a pretty good job at that. They had some more kind of adult jokes in there. You had Ryan Reynolds cracking his humor and stuff, and I thought that was pretty good in terms of. I don't know why they haven't made another one yet, or another live action movie, because it seemed to do pretty well overall. But
yeah, and I think they are kind of fulfilling a little bit of that like mature audience demand through these like anniversary time short series, like Origins. We were talking about that earlier, or like what was the other one? Something Wing. Like there's one for the Sword and Shield block too. I don't know. Something like Midnight Wings or something like that. But like, yeah, so every time an anniversary comes around, there's like these small little like anime short series that they release. And it's like, man, you could do so much with this if you turned it into like a full blown adult kind of like geared anime. And like, you can still have the kids version of that. Like the kids like Journeys episodes or whatever marketed towards the younger audience. And then also start kind of like keeping the older audience engaged in multiple media forms. Because how often do just the three of us, like how often do we communicate with other collectors who are only into the cards, despite the fact that there's so many other things that they could be consuming? A lot of people who are like collecting or buying and selling even are only working with cardboard, and not even getting into the video games, which seems like a very close second. But yeah, I don't know. I think they could lean into the adult audience a little bit more, but that doesn't mean that it has to be at the expense of the younger stuff too.
No,
yeah.
I think that Marvel has shown, and your average player brought up Marvel, but I think Marvel's shown that you can succeed in both because, movies like Deadpool, shows like Daredevil, like they were very much more like R-rated material. And then you also have, stuff like Miss Marvel and those other shows that are much more obviously like PG-13 oriented that work well with both kids and adults. So, and Deadpool, I think when it came out was the highest grossing, or not the highest grossing Marvel film, but the highest grossing rated R film of all time or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So it like blew away stuff. And I think if you're too worried about sticking in the same lane all the time, then you kind of get stale.
Yeah.
Shake it up a bit.
And I'm not like going full blown like waifu kid. Like I don't want Pokemon to be about like boobs and butts and stuff.
Oh no.
But like Team Rocket could like actually be evil. Like
yeah.
I guess there's that.
Bring back a rival that makes fun of me that I have to beat and overcome. Make him a bully again.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that, but they made Skylar, and she got boobs and butts like going on kind of
That
thing.
did
Like,
happen. Yep.
and I think there'll be more of that, and I think people are gonna want it.
I mean, Professor Wiki too. Like, man, that's a lot different than what we started with.
I think the Japanese market is definitely into that stuff.
Bingo.
It comes over here as well, and that's why they're willing to do more of that, because I think the Japanese market is super into the waifus.
Yeah, for sure. I'm good to wrap it up if you guys are. You guys got anything else? I don't see any questions in the chat. I don't think we've had too many questions. I think they've just been enjoying us talking, which is a good thing, I suppose.
Nope. I'm good to wrap up as well.
Yep, same here.
It's 1:30. I told you it was going to go quick.
Holy
Yeah,
cow.
it was super fast. 2.5 hours.
Man. Well, thank you very much for having us on. This was a blast. Like, seriously, this was very fun. So
I've loved it. I'm glad that both of you have. All three of you, definitely people I align with and see a lot of value in your content. I'm excited to see more videos from all of you. So, yeah, thanks for coming on. I'm going to say bye to the chat.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone. I'll end the live chat if you guys want to stay on for a second. But bye, chat. Hope you have a good weekend.
Yep. See everybody. Thanks for watching.